There it is. I think we got it. I think we got it. A little bit of chill time this morning, I think. Or I should say this afternoon. A little bit of a weird time to stream, but no biggie. Make sure my audio level isn't... Okay, good. Last time I broke it, I had my mic muted for half the
river valley
half
are
the
the
time.
glaciers that can be seen far in the distance.
That might be a little too loud. What do you think? No?
The Athabasca glaciers, and it's one of the largest glaciers.
Oh, let me move my chat window.
The valley's largest glaciers in North America. The valleys in the region are also home to bird watchers can also enjoy spotting a variety of birds. There are several trails that offer stunning views of all that there is to see. Now, if that's not your thing though, you could instead the river, which offers a unique perspective. Number 11. Kaoping Khan Thailand. Kaoping Khan, which is also known as the James in Thailand. The island is known for its unparalleled. What makes Kaoping Khan truly these cliffs are covered in lush vegetation and are almost unbelievable when you see them in real life. The island's most famous attraction, which stands tall. Kotapu, which stands tall in the middle of the sea. It's this unique geological. The beaches around the island are in their own league too, with each one having its own charm. Visitors surrounding landscape. Boat tours are a great way to explore the bay, hidden cove. Number 10, Wadi Rum.
Oh, yeah. Let me make sure I've got everything that is actually... Yeah, there we go.
That area, Jordan. Wadi Rum, which is in the southern part of Jordan, it's known for its towering red sand. The region is home to a number of unique.
There we go.
The sandstone cliffs, the highest peak, Jabal The Seastone Cliffs also feature Wadi Rum is also famous for its expanse you've ever seen.
Oh, I swallowed that word. Also famous.
Mountains. In addition to its natural beauty, Wadi Rum is also steeped in history. The area has been inhabited for thousands of years, and visitors can explore several ancient ruins and archaeological sites. One of the most famous is, and throughout all the
One of the most famous.
Formations.
Gotta slow that down.
which was once a major. One of the most famous is the Nabatean Temple.
One of the most famous
is the Nabatean Temple, which was once a major. And throughout all the formations, there's also. Which was once a. Although throughout. And throughout all the formations, there's also a lot. These carvings provide a glimpse. Number 9, Kifkufeth, Iceland.
Haha, that's right. That's the official.
Kifkufeth, Iceland.
Kifkufeth.
Kifkufeth.
Yeah,
Found on the north coast.
So there's some creative editing. I knew I was going to have to do some creative editing in this one.
Kifkufeth.
Only because that is just,
Found on the north coast of the
Snæfellsnes.
Found on the north coast of the Snæfellsnes Peninsula in Iceland is one of the most Found on the north coast of the Snæfellsnes Peninsula in Iceland is one of the most.
Wait, I got that right.
Found on the north coast of the Snæfellsnes Peninsula in Iceland is one of the most. Is one of the.
Is.
Iceland is. Iceland is one of the most picturesque and recognizable landmarks in the country. rises about 50.
Whoop, let me check my, I got for this right. Yeah, let's see if there's an actual chat window that I can actually use here. There we go.
Icelandic folklore. The reason it's become so prominent is its unique shape. The mountain has a cone-like peak, which the mountain's beauty is enhanced by the nearby waterfall, which cascades down the rocks and provides a living foreground for photographs. The mountain's beauty is enhanced. The area surrounding here is also incredible. The rugged terrain is dotted, offering views. While it is beautiful at any time, to April, the mountain's isolation and proportion, watching the northern lights dance, watching the northern lights dance above the not be missed. Beyond its natural beauty, this place is ingrained into Icelandic culture. According to legend, it's said to be the most photographed mountain in Iceland, as well as the most that are believed to be hidden in its depths. Number 8. Milford Sound. Milford Sound is a natural wonder located the towering cliff and act as steep walls that marine life, and as a result, the towering cliffs of Milford and act as steep walls that the cliffs are covered in vegetation and one of the best times to be in Milford Sound is during the sunrise or sunset, as the waterfalls of Milford cliffs and into the water below. The most famous of these waterfalls is the Stirling below. The most famous of these to the area's special aura. Things are just as spectacular beneath the surface.
Special aura.
In many ways, it's the isolation of Milford wilderness, and it's only accessible by boat. Once you're there, you can explore by boat, kayak, or on foot.
God, this mouse wheel on this new mouse is just tearing my finger off.
Once you're there, you can explore kayak or on foot to take the surroundings in your own way. Or there are regular your own way. Or there are Number 7. Plitvice Lakes National Park,
oh, yeah.
Croatia. Plitvice Lakes National Park,
Plitvice.
Croatia.
Croatia is very interesting language.
The Plitvice Lakes, Croatia. The Plitvice Lakes National Park is a natural. This UNESCO World Heritage. The Plitvice National Park is one of the most. The Plitvice Lakes National.
Yeah. This is one of those ones where the script.
This national park.
It was a little awkward, where it was constantly using the proper noun over and over again at every sentence.
Waterfalls. It's divided into 2 main areas.
So I try to remove those since we already know we're talking about the lake. I try to remove those.
The lower lakes are down in a valley.
Because it's boring.
In vegetation.
I mean, yeah, fine. AI has taken over voices, but it doesn't need to sound that way.
And this sees them,
especially if there's still a human doing it.
And this sees them shift.
And if you're constantly
surrounded
they may generate the script, but saying the proper noun over and over and over again is just a little
bit. As
bit.
The lakes and waterfalls, the parks. A
little bit annoying.
Wide range
to listen to.
It's also possible to see
I mean, my voice puts them to sleep. That's the last thing I need is more stuff to put people to sleep.
Found in this specific region, with various different.
You know what this needs for my listening pleasure? This needs it needs a reverb. Let's put in a small room reverb right there.
Specific region, with various different walking routes ranging from easy walks along the boardwalks to more challenging hikes that take visitors up into the hills. There's a way to take in the sights of the park for everyone, so it's no surprise that it's one of the most visited places in Croatia.
That works. Ultra subtle.
Number 6.
Ultra subtle reverb.
Maine, United States. Mount Desert States.
Let me change one more setting. I think. Whoops. Yeah, maybe. No, too many settings. Too many settings. There we go. Oh, there we go.
It's best known for its stunning natural scene. One of the most famous destinations in the wilderness. It's home to a wide range of different plants and animals too. Visitors to
I heard that.
And animals too.
That little. Yeah. The headphones that I use in that booth have a leather cup on the ear pads, and you can hear it move every now and then.
Scenic trails. Visitors to Acadia can kayak on scenic trails, kayak on crystal clear lakes. The centerpiece of Acadia National Park is
Kayak on
landscape, particularly at sunrise and sunset when the sky is purple. While the national park, each with its own unique charming coastal towns too, with each its own unique character and towns too, each with its own unique each with its own unique character and charm. The town of Bar Harbor, for example, and easy access to the national you don't have to hike and can instead drive the park loop. Along the way, you can stop at various do so, with further places to visit, such as the one. Number 5. Waimea Canyon State Park is commonly referred to as the Natural Beauty. The park covers an area of around making it a must visit destination for nature enthusiasts. The canyon itself is over 14. The land more than a kilometer deep. The landscape is a glorious formation showcasing various.
Why did I do that?
A great way to see the best.
Little vocal fry in there. The
trails range in difficulty from easy to challenging, so there's something there for everyone. With the two most popular, which offer amazing views of the canyon and of the Waipo'o Falls, and the Cliff Trail, which provides breathtaking. For those looking for a more leisurely experience,
there it is again.
Such as the Waimea Canyon Lookout and the Waimea Canyon Lookout and Pu'uhinahina Lookout. Both of these points offer panoramic. There is, of course, a plosive and the wider area, making them perfect.
I got almost 2 layers. I'm a little close to this mic when I'm recording on it, and it picks up
the Hawaiian people.
A lot of to try to get that little
people,
a bit of the resonance back in the sound of my voice, and then I started to get rid of it with an EQ, but it
most popular tourist destinations in the country
doesn't lend itself to plosives all that nicely.
The country.
So I have extra thick protection, but it's still
the limestone cliffs of Halong Bay.
I still screw it up from time to time.
These towering, creating an amazing stunning seascape that create a stunning vista.
Wait, what?
Creating an amazing seascape directly from the sea, creating a stunning seascape that creating an amazing seascape that visitors can explore the floating around on the green, the calm and clear water.
Take that off.
The calm and clear water create a peaceful and serene environment.
Let's see. Let me boost that back up.
Calm and clear water create a. The calm and clear water create.
That's funny. Let's see.
The calm and clear water create a peaceful and serene environment. That's perfect.
Too much.
The calm and clear water.
Apparently, I can't speak.
Floating around on the green.
Oh. Let me bring out my chat window. There we go.
The calm and clear waters thrive there. The islands and islets of each island.
Way too much. I don't know why I do that. Why do I do that to myself?
Rock outcroppings to massive islands covered in lush greenery. Each island is unique and beautiful in its own way, and it's possible to explore them on foot or by boat. Each island is unique and beautiful.
Sounds like a bathroom.
Each island is unique.
Why am I doing this to myself? Why do I do that? Just have to focus. I just got to work instead of messing around with reverb. Can't help it sometimes. Wait, let's do...
have attracted people for thousands of years, and so it's got plenty of historical sites to discover as well. There are ancient temples, pagodas, and historic sites that are scattered throughout the bay, and the floating villages where locals live in homes built on rafts and boats offer a glimpse into the traditional way of life in that area too.
That's funny.
Offer a glimpse into the traditional
4-second reverb. Jeez. All right, let's see what that is.
Into the traditional way of life in that area too. Number 3, Sossusfly.
That is a huge. Let's see, which one was it? This one.
Traditional way of life in that area too.
Way too big. Concert hall.
The traditional way of life in that area too. Number 3, Sossusfly, Namibia.
That's way better. All right, gotta knock that off. Let's come back to normal.
Namibia. Sossusfly is a magnificent...
Sossusfly
is a magnificent in Africa. It's an incredible destination for travelers looking
Let's leave that in there.
100 meters high. The dunes here at Sossusfly are not just any ordinary. The colors of the dunes vary throughout the day, meaning the best time to visit this place is... One of the most popular features here is the deadfly, a dried-up lake bed that's stranded in the middle of the pan.
The deadfly.
The best way to see the landscape, though, is to... The views from above are simply breathtaking, and it's a great alternative to the guided walks, nature, flora, and fauna. With a number of luxury lodges, Sossusfly is accessible.
Gotta be getting there. Number 2?
Number 2, Grace Bay Beach, Grace Bay.
Turks and Caicos.
Grace Bay Beach is a beautiful beach and is as close to a perfect tropical beach as you're ever likely to find. It's known in particular in the Caribbean. The water at Grace Bay Beach, which is incredibly clear.
Incredibly blue.
The water at Grace. Coral reefs surround snorkelers can explore.
I had to make sure I didn't drop my R on that word. Snorkelers.
There are plenty of beach chairs and umbrellas. Visitors can also take a stroll along the beach, watching. Number 1, Salar de Uyuni.
Salar de Uyuni,
which is so vast.
Wait, was that? All right, let me do this. I have to answer that. All right, let me...
The surface of our planet has been shaped
I will be right back.
natural forces for billions of years, resulting in awe-inspiring structures and breathtaking scenery. Local climate conditions have further influenced each region, making them distinct and unique in their own way. While every corner of the Earth boasts its own beauty, some landscapes are truly exceptional. From lush protected forests to majestic river valleys, sprawling deserts to picturesque coastlines, it's time to visit the top 15 most incredible landscapes on Earth. Let's begin. Number 15, Torres del Paine National Park, Chilean Patagonia. The landscape of Torres del Paine National Park in Chile is a natural wonder that attracts visitors from all over the world. The park, which covers an area of around 700 square miles or about 1,800 square kilometers, is located in the Patagonia region of Chile, and it's known for its breathtaking scenery, rugged mountains, pristine lakes, and winding rivers. The most iconic feature of the park is the Torres del Paine, a trio of granite peaks that rise above the surrounding landscape. These mountains, which reach a height of about 9,300 feet or 2,800 meters, are one of the park's most popular attractions and a must-see for anyone that goes there. Hikers can go on a challenging trek to reach the base of the towers, where they can enjoy some of the best views of the mountains and the surrounding valleys. In addition to the peaks, the park boasts a range of other natural wonders, including glaciers, lakes, and rivers. The Gray Glacier, for example, is one of the most impressive of all, stretching for over 3.7 miles or about 6 kilometers, and with a distinctive blue hue. It's even possible to take a boat tour or hike along the glacier to witness its beauty from up close. The park's numerous lakes and rivers are also a sight to behold, with Lake Pahoe that's located at the heart of the park being particularly known for its crystal clear waters and stunning mountain views. The Salto Grande waterfall is another popular site where you can watch the water cascade down from the mountains into the turquoise-colored river below. Aside from its natural beauty, the park's also home to a diverse range of wildlife, and if you're lucky, you'll be able to spot a guanaco, fox, or puma roaming freely throughout. The skies above are filled with a variety of bird species too, including the Andean condor, Chilean flamingo, and Magellanic woodpecker, all of which thrive there thanks to the minimal human interference. Whether you want to hike, kayak, or simply take in the stunning views, the Torres del Paine National Park is a truly unforgettable place. And with its unique geological formations, awe-inspiring mountain peaks, and diverse wildlife, it's a natural wonder that you should definitely visit if you've got the chance. Number 14. Santorini Caldera, Greece. The Santorini Caldera, which is located in the Aegean Sea, is one of the most breathtaking areas of natural beauty in Greece. The crescent-shaped island was formed after a volcanic eruption, and it's famous for its dramatic cliffs, whitewashed buildings, and stunning sunsets. The caldera, which is the sunken central part of the volcano, is what makes Santorini such a unique destination compared with anywhere else in the region. The beauty of Santorini Caldera can be seen from various viewpoints on the island. One of the most popular places is the village of Oia, located on the northern tip of the island, where you can enjoy a panoramic view of the entire caldera and the surrounding islands. The sunset in Oia is also a must-see experience, as the sun sets into the sea, creating a fiery red and orange sky. Another point of interest is the village of Fira, which is the capital of Santorini. Fira was built on the edge of the caldera, and visitors can take a cable car or walk down the steep steps to reach the old port. From here, you can take a boat tour around the caldera, which is the best way to see the volcanic landscape up close, and will also take you to the island of Nea Kamenai, where you can hike up to the crater of the volcano and enjoy panoramic views of the caldera. As well as the incredible scenery, the beaches in Santorini are also unlike any other because of their black and red sand, which is a result of the volcanic activity, of course. The most famous ones on the island is the Red Beach, which is located near the village of Akrotiri, and it's surrounded by towering red cliffs, making it one of the most picturesque spots in all of Greece. Santorini is, of course, well known for its culture too, with quaint towns, amazing architecture, friendly locals, and delicious food. It's the perfect place to go to take life at your own pace while being surrounded by one of the most beautiful landscapes in the world. Number 13. The Pitons, St. Lucia. The Pitons of St. Lucia are twin volcanic spires that rise majestically from the Caribbean Sea, creating a stunning backdrop for the island's fertile forests and clear blue waters.
My bad. Had to go. That's at least new business. That's always a good thing. New business is always a good thing.
Number 1, and is so vast that it looks like a never-ending. During the rainy season, the sun breathtaking, reflecting the sky, taking visual experience that you form, reflecting the sky and clouds, reflecting the sky and clouds and. The beauty of the Salar de Uyuni is not just limited. Visitors can see these elegant birds waiting. Expanse.
Coffee burp. I think that was a coffee burp. It felt like a coffee burp.
In the middle of the salt, known as Incahuasi Island, or Incahuasi Island, known as Incahuasi Island, Incahuasi Island, or Isla del Pescado, or Isla del Pescado, or Isla del Pescado, or Isla.
Boy, it just took me 6 times to get that.
Pescado. These cactus islands are home to giant cactus. To really see the flats at their best at altitude, so there's relatively thin. It is the flattest because of the way the flat formed about its future. Because of the way the flat formed, as it was, mines have already been.
Okay, so I think. Wow, this is a really long one. They're getting long. 26 minutes. Wow, these are getting much longer, I've noticed.
Number 7.
Right, BRB.
Plitvice Lakes National Park, Croatia. The Plitvice Lakes National Park is a natural wonder located in the heart of Croatia, known for its strikingly beautiful lakes, waterfalls, and cascading streams. This UNESCO World Heritage Site covers an area of over 114 square miles, or 296 square kilometers, and it's home to 16 interconnecting lakes that are situated at different altitudes. This national park is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Croatia, and it attracts millions of visitors every year. The park is easily accessible by car, bus, or train, and there are several well-maintained walking trails that take visitors through the lush green forests, around the shimmering lakes, and up close to the spectacular waterfalls. It's divided into two main areas, the upper lakes and the lower lakes. The upper lakes are at a higher altitude and are surrounded by dense forests, while the lower lakes are down in a valley and are surrounded by lush green vegetation. Amazingly, the lakes change color throughout the day depending on the angle of the sun and the time of the day, and this sees them shift from being a deep blue or turquoise to emerald green, which makes for a truly mesmerizing experience. You'll be surrounded by beauty wherever you are, but one of the most breathtaking sights in the park is the Veliki Slap waterfall, which cascades down from a height of 250 feet or about 78 meters, and it's the highest waterfall in Croatia. The sound of the water crashing down onto the rocks below is truly unforgettable. As well as the lakes and waterfalls, the park's also home to a wide range of animal and plant life, including a large population of brown bears, wolves, lynx, and deer. It's also possible to see a wide variety of bird species, including eagles, owls, and kingfishers, along with a number of plant species that can only be found in this specific region. With various different walking routes ranging from easy walks along the boardwalks to more challenging hikes that take visitors up into the hills, there's a way to take in the sights of the park for everyone, so it's no surprise that it's one of the most visited places in Croatia. Number 6. Mount Desert Island, Maine, United States. Mount Desert Island, located off the coast of Maine in the northeastern United States, is a breathtakingly beautiful destination. It's best known for its stunning natural scenery and charming coastal towns. It's a favorite spot for vacationers and nature enthusiasts. One of the most famous destinations on the island is the Acadia National Park, covering an area of over 76 square miles or 197 square kilometers of pristine wilderness. It's home to a wide range of different plants and animals, too. Visitors to Acadia can hike on miles of scenic trails, kayak on crystal-clear lakes and ponds, and enjoy amazing views of the rugged coastline and surrounding islands. The centerpiece of Acadia National Park is Cadillac Mountain, which is the tallest peak on the eastern seaboard of the United States. Measuring 1,530 feet or 466 meters high, it's the perfect vantage point for uninterrupted views of the surrounding landscape, particularly at sunrise and sunset when the sky is painted in brilliant shades of pink, orange, and purple. While the national park makes up the majority of the island, Mount Desert also has some charming coastal towns too, each with its own unique character and charm. The town of Bar Harbor, for example, is particularly popular with visitors, with a range of restaurants, shops, galleries, and accommodation options, and easy access to the national park itself. You don't have to hike to experience all the natural beauty, though, and can instead drive the Park Loop Road. That's a 27-mile or 43-kilometer route that winds through the heart of the national park. Along the way, you can stop at various viewpoints to take in the scenery, including Thunder Hole, which is a natural inlet where waves crash against the rocky cliffs and create a thunderous sound as they do so. With further places to visit, such as the Astaco Azalea Botanical Garden, a waterfront panoramic harbor view, and plenty more, it is the ideal place to go to experience the best of Maine. There's something there for everyone.
He's back.
Number 5. Waimea Canyon State Park.
Let's see, did I lose everybody? Let's see.
Waimea Canyon State Park is a breathtaking natural landscape located on the island of...
Okay, let's process this bad boy. First things first, let's get rid of some of this. We'll take it down by about 6 dB. 6 dB. And we'll move on to the second one. Oh boy, this one. This one is going to be... This is probably going to be 28, 29 minutes. These episodes are really getting long.
And with all. See you next time.
See you next time. We had a lot of noise at the end there. Wonder what that was. Go to 123 or 1.23, roughly.
Hey, who says sand castles have to be boring? Well, get ready to be blown away by these incredibly...
Come back to this one. So this was, let me just keep that the same so I don't
I'll see you guys next time.
Don't have to mess with the processing on this one. All right, so we're going to declick that one. While we're doing that, actually, let me cancel that. Declick that one. We'll come down to Sandcastles. And we will do the Turbo Encabulator.
ever seen. Ever seen. Number 50.
Number 15.
As time moves. Yes. As time moves forward, it seems that for many people, owning a home is becoming more and more. People,
Ooh, a lot of mouth noise in this one.
millions. Could ever imagine millions and well, Brazil. But you know who doesn't? But you know who doesn't pay rent?
I know.
King. Brazil may not have a Brazil may king. Brazil may he's the self-proclaimed king of the sands who's been living rent-free as the king of his own castle in Marajechezuka. Matolius lives in his own of neighborhoods in Rio de Janeiro, Marajechezuka.
Oh yeah, we got to take out the
It's in Rio de Janeiro. Arrow.
Works for me.
Matolius lives in his own personal sandcastle that he's built over the years and even sports a plastic crown, letting onlookers know exactly in charge. His castle requires constant mate. Living here requires from scratch. The castle sports a small 32 square foot basement up. The king of the sandcastles is, and his works even caught the attention of a local
That's a big one.
for their displays. That's not all Matolius. His love of books has led him to collect and sell belly full. Over time, the self-proclaimed he does let adults and children alike sit on his throne, a makeshift chair.
Let me hear what this sounds like.
Happily poses. Self-proclaimed monarch has become a local celebrity of sorts.
Oh, feedback.
Tourists lining up to take his pictures with him and sand
Feedback.
pieces. To take his picture.
Oh yeah. Let's get this up. Completely botched that. Need to be up there like 17 in order to hear myself clearly. But these cans are they just dry. I need so much
Donations serve as
so much from the amp to
It's good to be the king. Number
to
4.
drive these.
Blockhus. In 2020.
Blockhus.
This castle
Where's the
stands at
XA?
69 and according to Guinness World Records of sand. The intricately decorated, but who could ever build such a unique and creative? Steiger had his work cut out, so building journey. This record-breaking sand, another out of the box method used to keep the structure so that it glues better. Is that cheating? Well, perhaps a little bit, but we'll let it slide. The artist also applied an extra layer of glue.
God, this is ultra flat today.
Into it.
One
of the sculptors said that the castle was.
I have no EQ on my channel strip on the Avalon, and there is an EQ. There's no low, and I'm using it as I'm side chaining some of the sibilants to in the compressor, and there is a little bit of that air at 20K on the EQ, and that's I think it's at 2 dB, if that, and
let's hope it never comes down.
It may need.
Number 13.
It just depends on what you're listening on. If you're listening on a cell phone, the extra little boominess helps. If you're not,
The cat trial.
sometimes it's a little
The cat
overpowering.
trial.
Yeah. Depends on what you're listening on, I guess.
The cat. In the past, cat construction machines have played a giant. And in 2014, the company took to this construction of the castle, which was made in the Camino named October 28th.
Oh.
Quarry sand and water began an of the castle, which was made exclusive. Quarry sand and exclusively of quarry sand.
Quarry sand.
Of quarry sand and water began on October 20. Over the course of 15 days, trucks were seven machine
Oh yeah, that's right. This one.
7 machine operators.
That one took a bit.
In all, they had moved about. This one took a. This cat busted out there. Cat busted out their D6 320 at 924K wheel loader, D6N crawler,
320.
and crawler, 320D and 336D. It all started with a wooden foundation, and from there, the cat is laid. It all started with down to the most minute. Everything just right. Down to the most minute of details, too. Everything just right. Down to the most minute of. Finished product is pretty extraordinary, and when the final touch of 38 feet. 8 feet. Number 12. For some.
Oh, yeah. Let's go back to this. So I'm going to shave it down. Yeah, there's nothing that's too crazy above 9. There's a few peaks up there. One hit 6. That's pretty damn amazing. I'm going to shave it down. Actually, you know what? No. I'm just going to leave it alone. We're going to go up to... I'm going to normalize it to 20. So I'm just matching loudness to a certain standard, negative 20 lufs at max peak of 1. And then that's where I apply my effects rack. At least for this. Boy, it threw the DC offset. The phase is all off there. You can see it. That's weird.
The surface of our planet has been shaped by natural forces for billions of years, resulting in awe-inspiring structures and breathtaking scenery.
So one more pass on that. I'm going to do that. And then we're going to do one more D-click pass. There's a very subtle D-click pass that I use just for low clicks. Like almost kind of like this one down here. Like, even though that's not a click, but sometimes at the beginning of or end of S's, sometimes there's a little sound, and that usually takes it out. That process. Sometimes it doesn't go down that low though. It sort of sits around maybe 500 hertz and above, maybe 500 to 1,000 in that range. If that, maybe 200 to 1,000.
For some, building a for some.
Why did I pause there? For some,
they can go at it. For others, it's a form of art. They can go at it. It really doesn't matter. For others, it's a form of artistic expression. Randy Hoffman falls, and for that, Randy Hoffman falls. He's getting his inspiration. He's getting it. He's been creating amazing sand. He's been creating the biblical sculptures Hoffman. Biblical. The biblical sculpture. Sunspot. That's sunspot. Sunspot. That's SON spot. Each sculpture requires it truly is impressive. There's no denying Hoffman's. Randy Hoffman's created all Jesus. Randy Hoffman has created all sorts of scenes during his. But despite the sheer size and scale of these, literally, he's getting into every nook, cranny, and crack, and he still uses his. There are no excavators or construction teams to be found here. Come to the boardwalk in Ocean City at night. John, say how.
Go back. So I can already see the DC offset in here. So we're going to use Isotope RX to correct that. But first, we're going to do that last mouth click process, which gets rid of a lot of the low ones.
Amazing.
That it's so, I don't want to say it's not sensitive, but it's so particular that I need to have it at final loudness.
He's amazing.
Before
Sculptures in the world.
I apply it, because they need to be amplified.
He's amazing. Based out of New Jersey. Job. A retired captain of the Atlantic. This man is a two-time 2018 Gaudi. 2018. In 2018, Gaudi and his wife. Depicting the sound.
The hell did I do there?
In 2018, Gaudi and his depicting this. In 28.
Wow. Jeez.
In 2018, Gaudi and his wife. The Pontiff's hometown.
Oh, that's right. It was a weird pronunciation, I think. The Pontiff. The Pope. Something in
Francis, depicting the San Jose de Flores parish, the Pontiff's hometown church in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
That was the one. Buenos Aires, Argentina. That one, for some reason, just gave me a problem.
Not only does Gowdy compete in sand sculpting, on occasion he can have a team made on his own. In 2008, as part of a promotion, John Gowdy Gowdy saw fit to depict. It said that Boleyn delivered this, but Gowdy must
Yeah,
not.
that one. See that low click? So what is that? Oh, 2K. Okay, so that's one of those low clicks. And this process, like it's an automated process, boom, it just reduces it.
But Gowdy must
Leaves it in there, but it just reduces it. So I have that set up on a hotkey, but you can, like if I did it wide, you'd be able to see it applying multi-click. It basically gets rid of a lot of those little mouth clicks at a certain lower frequencies. Some of the high ones are okay to leave in there. See, I think this is still processing at 48 seconds. We're going to throw that into, let me launch that now while I'm thinking of it. Okay, we'll keep that open. Well,
made sure to carve and like so to her face, and like so many of Gowdy's other amazing sand, ready for the chop.
Like I want to leave
Number
a lot
10,
of those
Zan.
clicks.
Have you ever seen a sandcastle? You're in luck.
In there? Gives it a bit
Zand
more.
Hotels, the first hotels
It's a bit more intimate.
towns. Os and Sneak to commemorate sand sculpture. The two pop-up hotels, one's modeled after the decorations. Believe it or not, these sand hotels all have. Of course, Wi-Fi.
Too fast. Slow down, Chris. Slow down.
The Zand Hotels.
What was I saying? These intimate moments.
An expensive novelty.
Sometimes you want
The structures were built.
the intimate ones to be
The basic structures made of
filled with lots of mouth.
the furnishings and bathroom sand, though. The suites were priced at $168 each of the festivals.
Sometimes
that
it just
hosted
helps.
Soil. All the rooms sold out. Hotel didn't have a sandbar.
That one I'll get rid of.
Ed Jarrett's Sandy Castle. Castle.
All right, let me go back, make sure. Yeah, there we go. So we're done with this one. I think we're gonna, let me save that one first. And then we're gonna go over here. And then we're gonna open file. And then we're gonna go, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's way up at the top here. Too many. Oh, wait a minute. Where is the wave? Oh, they're there. I guess they take a second to populate. What was it? Landscapes? Yeah, landscapes. So we'll open that up and we're going to correct that phase because this phase is just, I have to figure out what's causing that. I think it's an EQ setting that I'm using. 50. Jeez. So you're going to see this whole thing is going to shift. You'll see it's not going to be as flat at the top when I render it. Yeah. It corrects that weird phase shift that I get, which is just, for some reason, I got to find out what that is. It might be the Avalon, but I'm not entirely certain it is that. So if I close that, reopen it. Whoops, wait a minute. No, wait. What the hell just happened there? Oh, that's right. It's Incredible Landscapes. Yeah, you can see it corrected it. But now, having done that, it would actually be a hell of a lot easier if I would just do this in the first place. But I'm trying to look at amplitude statistics. So I'm actually okay. So normally I shoot for -18 to -20 as far as loudness with a peak value of -3. This gave me a peak value of -1, which is okay, I suppose.
The surface of our planet has been shaped by natural forces for billions of years, resulting in
See what that looks
awe-inspiring
like, huh?
structures and breathtaking scenery. Local climate conditions have further influenced each region, making them distinct and unique in their own way.
Yeah,
While every
that
corner
works. That works for me. That works for me for now. Let me just save it as an MP3. Yeah, I got to look into that. I'm not sure if I have. I got to look. Let me look into that on this one. Is that the one I've been working on? Sandcastles? Yeah.
The hotel didn't.
Let me see exactly. So, oh, natural phase. Okay, I must have forgotten. Normally I do linear phase on my EQ setting on ProQ. That's strange. I don't know how that got changed. I don't remember changing that. That I normally keep on 2. Yeah, I don't know what I did here when I was doing this. Yeah, oversampling. Look at is on Pro L2. I know I was going to have oversampling. Yep. That's weird. I got to look into that to see if the Avalon compressor is causing that phase alignment. That's weird.
Have number 9, Ed Jarrett's Sandy Castle. He hates them so much. The man and his high castles have made it in Jersey Shore. Beginning in March, beginning in the Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore. I have a problem saying Jersey Shore for some reason.
Beginning in March, he said. Beginning in March. Shore, and raise money for the relief efforts. Shore. Beginning in March, he set out to all pros.
Yep, there we go.
Charity. One side of the Sandy Castle is dedicated to which toppled in the Barnegat Lighthouse and the Ortley Beach during the hurricane. The Barnegat Lighthouse and Parks Convention Hall, Seaside Heights, Starjet roller coaster, which toppled into the ocean during the hurricane.
Yeah,
the Barnegat Lighthouse. The Barnegat Light.
Wait, what did I do there? I will leave the breath in.
Hurricane. The Barnegat Lighthouse and the hurricane. The Barnegat Lighthouse and the Ortley Beach Water Tower.
Yeah,
At the base of the castle,
what did I do there?
On the side, serpents.
Editing.
On the side that faced, but Jarrett's Sandy
Castle. The magic of editing.
But Jarrett's Sandy Castle never did attain a bulldozer that the whole castle to its foundation. The shockwave opened up at 25, roughly 4 feet shy of the height needed to break his own record. But they still continued to. Number 8. Sudarsan, another breaker of records. Sudarsan Patnaik is a renowned. In 1994, where he teaches.
That one I had to actually look up. Patnaik always
teaches other the craft he's practiced.
Indian or Hindi, I should say Indian names, proper names, always throw me.
Which he said.
Just not used to them yet. Well, I mean, I am, but
an ability gifted to him by the big.
Just still, just unfamiliarity with them.
Sand sculpt aids awareness, and even
they flow too.
Aids awareness, and even created a great world peace, and even give a replica of the. And even created a replica of the piece, and even give a replica of the Taj Mahal. Created a
right there
piece, and even created a replica of the Taj Mahal.
Almost perfect. Almost perfect.
Even created a replica of the Taj Mahal. Naik is a stranger to. Pat Naik isn't a stranger to.
Bit of a plosive there.
Anniversary. In 2017, he made history. He made history when he. In 2017, he did it again on Puri Beach with a castle dedicated to world peace. He made history when, according to Deba, at the Times of India, Patna. According to Debabrata Mohapatra in the Times of India, at the Times of India, Patnaik's.
Ooh, lots of crazy editing.
Times of India, Patnaik's 48-foot-tall megastructure was. It took Patnaik and it took him.
That works.
It took him and his crew 9.
See, I think that was, yeah. They were using Patnaik so frequently in the script, it was throwing me. So I just, him, he.
Front. And also includes
no
a
need
piece
to,
as well as a medallion showing the previous
no need to
Guinness
have
World
that
record
many.
At 45.8 feet. Previous Guinness World Record. The previous Guinness World Record.
Wow, what did I screw up there? Oh, it was the decimal point.
Over the course of
15.
Over the course of 2 weeks.
Unless it's just ultra important, I very rarely.
Weeks.
Even if it's in the script, you don't need. We're having this discussion. Unless you're talking about the precision of something, or unless you're talking about, I'm more comfortable not saying decimal places. Like if somebody gives a figure, especially like war deaths when I do simple history episodes, when you have a casualty list, unless you really are listed, it's a case-by-case basis. You just don't read every single number. Like if it's 1,734, I say 1,700 or 1,700 instead of saying the actual, or I mean, that one's a little bit different, but if it's up in the 10,000s, 10,325, it's just too much. Say, oh, just over 10,000 or 10,300.
And they were supervised.
And making those calls as a narrator, hopefully,
From Guinness.
works for people because
This
it's
sandcastle
one of those interpretations that
composed of 300
you need to be able to make.
by an impressive 6 feet.
Sometimes scriptwriters won't get
On
it.
September 1st, prior to this
Where they're really just, they're not concerned, most scriptwriters, well, I would say
February the same year,
the ones that I deal with anyway,
The
they're not
sandcastle's
concerned
located
with how things sound when spoken. They're concerned with how things are read within your head.
and was commissioned. The sandcastle's located.
So,
The sandcastle's located in Duisburg. It reached a height of 50.
Duisburg.
The design is quite intricate.
Duisburg.
The project involved 19. The actual patterns in the sand were created. The endeavor was funded by
Bit of a plosive there.
and tools. In all, it took a total of 20 park on a. The endeavor was funded by an artificial beach in the landscape park on a former. Number 6, Sue McGrew. Having built a
Sue McGrew. That was a good one.
having a sign.
Oh, let me check. Let me make sure I got this thing going here. Yep. All good. Look, sounds are emanating. Whoa. For some reason, too many browsers open. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's why. Move this up a little bit. That works for me.
Number 6, Sue McGrew. Having a
Sue
sign
McGrew.
built for cheap as plastic. But how about sand? Well, Sue McGrew created this record-breaking, this massive.
Wait, oh, my Discord. I forgot about my dumb Discord. Hopefully,
a green sea turtle moving, a giant Pacific octopus with its bulbous round head taller than a child, a spotted eagle ray moving dozen, and that's just.
all right, let me, whoops. Where is OBS? I gotta put a giant, I gotta upgrade to 11 on this thing.
And that's just the ocean.
Once I build a new PC.
The facility, small amphibian. The facility,
Wait, what?
a small feathery amphibian. A small amphibian. The facility even incorporated a map near the giant artwork to help visitors. Her epic work seems to defy gravity, but her epic work seems to defy gravity. The sandy seascape began with blocks of sand. But that was the easy part, because from there, the world-class sculptor had to get in there with fine tools and a steady hand, and some serious artistry and creativity. And some serious
Snort!
and a steady hand and some serious artistry and some serious art and some serious hand and some serious art hand and some serious hand and some serious artistry and creativity.
That works.
Sue and the gang. Sue and the gang start. In fact, when it's done, McGrew's. When it's done, McGrew's. Way to go, Sue McGrew.
Way to go. Look at you, Sue McGrew.
The man began his career, and for good reason. He found that there were simply three. Andy began taking part in sandcastle competitions, master sand sculptures in South Padre as a way to demonstrate the magical sculpting qualities of South Padre.
Oh.
Started the festivals 34 years ago as a way to demonstrate the
Demonstrate. Oh boy.
Demonstrate the magical there's a good
point.
Way to demonstrate the magical sculpting qualities of. Over the years, the event has grown from a local celebration to beach come alive. Andy Hancock became such a staple and a crowd pleaser that he was commissioned to. Hancock's South Padre Island sandcastle is unbelievable. The dragon next to the castle looks as though it's been built in a stone. But then how did Hancock make the castle permanent? Did the wizard cast another spell? Well, not quite. Hancock coated the entire castle in a thin layer of glue, which keeps it strong through any kind of weather, with various levels of difficulty being tools. His clever tricks and use of everyday material. Number 4. Amazing Walter McDonald, one of the founders of South Padre.
Sneeze.
Characters on South Padre Island. The sand sculptor.
I love how that sneeze comes out of nowhere.
Padre Island.
That was one of those ones that just came
The sand
out
sculptor
of
has been
nowhere.
entering and winning his first entry in solo masters. His
Usually every time I sneeze
and he's grown
in the
accustomed
booth,
to his first
I have to take about at least 30 seconds to a
large
minute
project in 1997. His
to
work
sort
has
of
made it to
recoup
television.
because it just strains everything in your body.
Both amazing.
makes you
Walter
sound a
and his
little
sand
weird.
Each in the doubles division. Their entry, the coldest sand sculpture, the People's Choice Award division, the People's Choice Award, and the Sculptor's Choice Award.
Oh boy.
And the Sand Sculptor and People's Choice Award and the Sculptor's Choice.
No. Bring it down.
And the Sculptor's Choice Award. There were anywhere, and when he's not sweeping, and if the crowd is by no means an easy task, and when he's not sand sculpting in competitions with tourists, he certainly knows how to use all of the latest.
Works for me. Hey, Waff, what's going on, buddy?
Abe Waterman.
This is a narration for a channel I work with on YouTube called Top Fives. We do these top 50. Actually, the channel's name is Top Fives, but we do a lot of top 15s. So top 15. This one happens to be Creative Sandcastle Designs. Is the top 15 creative sandcastle designs.
Every year in
That's
June,
what this is for.
Sculpting Classic. Hundreds of people, mostly locals, come to pick up what the artists are putting down. Each creation.
This is just
one winner.
a relaxing stream.
There can be only one winner. Each creation is better than. I
think I was trying to do a Highlander reference here.
Each creation is better than those that came before it, but in the end, there can be only one winner walking away with the $6,000 grant.
There can be only one. In the end,
Coming in first place.
there can be only one.
In 2021, the prestigiously sandy honor of outcoming in first place. In 2021, it was Abe.
I screwed that one up.
In 2021, it was Abe Waterman. The Canadian sand. This amazing sand sculpture was. The amazing sand sculpture was double woman on the other. So what could have possibly inspired water? Well, in multiple interviews, Waterman has stated that he created the design years prior to entering the competition after going through a rough divorce. Although he and his wife are separated, the whole situation sounds about needless empty.
Why am I doing that?
Well, needless to say, this piece empty took Waterman 3 days to create, with you've seen on this list. Empty took Waterman. Instead, they're made using gaps within the sculpture. The Hampton Beach master sand sculptor gave him some, but hopefully taking home.
Take that out.
Years to come, but hopefully taking home top prize with.
Number two,
Sandcastle Matt. This next entry on our list isn't. This next entry on our list.
What is that noise I made?
Castle Matt. This next entry.
Oh, that's all right. All right. Instead of going, all right, I went, all right. I'll get rid of that.
This next entry on our list isn't one, but many while we certainly have no shortage of spectacular. Instead of creating sweeping, which he used to build.
Oop. I gotta keep remembering. Open this up. There we go.
Drip method, which he used to build. Which he uses to build up and up. Which he uses to build up. Forget your fancy sandcastle building tool. By using a simple one-to-one mixture of. All he does is gather. So while these works of art and silt will leave your jaw on the floor and your mouth, he simply sets them up as he pleases, and then it's pretty amazing how such a simple. When it comes to creative sandcastle, when Sandcastle Matt isn't making money. Number one, Calvin Siebert. Calvin Siebert is a New York. Calvin Siebert is a New York-based artist. Siebert had worked as a sculptor. The results are these personal recognition. And unlike so many other epic sandcastles we've seen here today, Siebert isn't making, and while full-time activity, and while which would make sense, time, energy, and effort and attention to detail it makes to which would make.
Wait, what did I just do there?
And while it may not pay the bills just yet, which would make sense.
All right there. Wow, that's going to be a tough one.
Considering the amount of.
That's going to be a weird one.
Else, which would make sense considering the amount of time, energy. But the most beautiful part about some of these castles can. It's not like a building where when it's done, it's there for a lifetime. But on the brighter side, it's not like a building where when. It's not like a building, but on the brighter side, because his medium is simple.
All right, so, I got a lot of big peaks here. For some reason, I was a little hot on most of that. We're going to leave it alone.
He hates them so much.
We're going to leave it alone, but we're going to run a declick on that. And we're going to come over to most beautiful sunsets in the world. Actually, wait, what was... Oh, damn it. Okay, I got to see. After that declick, I want to see how long that was. That one was exceptionally long.
This next time.
Exceptionally long. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. There we go.
And the sun's rays.
Yeah, that one. This one actually I think was okay as far as duration. 26 minutes. Yeah, that other one was 10 minutes longer. Something weird with that script. Normally they're not that long.
As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, it puts on a breathtaking show of color and light that can leave us awestruck. From golden yellows to fiery orange. struck. From golden yellows to fires. So join me for today's video. Number 15, Santorini, Greece.
I think my compression was a little bit off on this one, I think.
Santorini in Greece. It's a small picturesque island that's in the Aegean Sea. Famous around the world, it's an extremely popular tourist destination into Greek culture and history.
Yeah, I had it set. The release was a little too slow. I needed a faster release so it would actually
On the northern
jump back up. It was compressing. It was using the sibilants to compress, and it was compressing,
with such majestic
or it was
landscapes
taking a
and
bit
historic
longer to come back from it. So it was keeping some
view from the Oya
some stuff down.
as the
that
sun
shouldn't be
seems to
down.
sink into the sea, casting a warm glow.
Yeah, you can hear it there. So yeah, that's terrible. I just changed it after I completed this one too. So
into the sea, casting a warm glow
casting
glow
yeah,
over
just,
the entire village.
That was my
If
bad.
you're ever able to visit, the best way to take it in is
My
to join
bad.
the locals.
And I can recover some of that, but I don't want
Spectacle,
to
often
overprocess
accompanied
this.
by a glass of
You can recover some of the dynamics with like a multi-band compressor, but
India.
or I should say an expander. I can use Pro MB to
Hall, who died during childbirth in 1631, and still to this day it's seen. 1631, and still to this day it's seen as the site each year to see it for themselves.
go back here and see. Wow, okay, I shaved 10 minutes off of that damn thing.
The different type, but
Still,
it's a great
though.
excuse to travel the world and
25 minutes, that's a long time for these. Normally we try to stay under, well, at least that's what it was. We try to stay under, like 20 minutes, usually.
renowned masterpiece of Mughal architecture that's from around the world. Number 15, Santorini, Greece. Santorini in Greece. It's a small picture in history. Visitors to the island can explore the various villages and traditional India. The Taj Mahal is a world-renowned masterpiece of the entire complex is set in a beautiful garden, with the walls being adorned with carved as an unbelievably beautiful structure. As the sun begins to lower behind the monument, the marble changes color. Special vantage points.
Okay. Let's get rid of that. Actually gonna shave this down to 6. Make sure nothing goes over 6. There we go. So no peaks over 6. We're gonna do match loudness for 20. That's gonna bring it up quite a bit. Give that a minute.
The Matterhorn. The Matterhorn is one of the most iconic and majestic. It's on the border between Switzerland and the mountain has long been a symbol of. The Matterhorn was first climbed and the attempt was or Edward Whymper. The attempt was successful, but and he still uses his hands to help shape the larger portions. There are no excavators or.
All right, let's see if that linear, or that was linear phase. I think, yeah, linear phase. Let me put it on linear phase high and see what happens. It should be okay. It shouldn't be off by 50.
Since then, the matter
in RX10 or our RX9. I don't think I've upgraded to RX9 yet, did I? RX9 or RX10. I know it's just not enough. Each upgrade that Isotope does,
and depending on the chosen route, offers one.
It's really not worth it for my scope, my level of dialogue editing. It's just,
and it's particularly stunning.
Not needed.
And it's particularly stunning vista. And it's a stunning vista during sunset as the sun begins.
It's just something I don't need, I guess.
Spectacle. The surrounding mountains and if you ever have a chance to see the sunset at the base, be missed. Number 12. Yeah.
Uluru.
Uluru, which was formerly known as Air.
Let's go back, make sure. Yeah, okay, I got a minute.
This iconic sandstone monument.
This one I did pretty well. I didn't have too many. Didn't have too many mistakes.
1140, making it one of the largest monoliths in the world.
That was a mouth
The
click.
rock's unique color.
That'll be taken care
Visitors
of.
can explore the surround as well as but access to the rock because Uluru. But access to the rock itself.
Yeah, that compression is just
Access to the rock itself.
yeah, right there. I feel guilty.
As the sun sets over the region, the colors of
It's not.
Uluru.
It's probably not going to be noticeable to too many people. I guess maybe an audio engineer might pick up on it, but that extra bit of pumping is just my fault.
Number 11.
Because I should have double checked my
Lake Annecy, France.
my
Lake
release.
Annecy is Lake Annecy, France.
The release values on compression.
Lake Annecy is a beautiful. This picturesque lake is known for its crystal clear waters, and visitors can swim, kayak, paddle, and there are several beaches in.
I think technically I could add another EQ in here for some of the boxiness, but depending, it sounds okay. There's nothing resonant
Around the lake too. It's a stunning place throughout the day.
I could fix some of the boxiness to get rid of some of that boxy room sound, but it's not gonna matter.
The mountains that surround the view from the view.
Let's go back. Well, that did fix some of that. Yeah, that definitely did fix some of it. It's definitely not off by as much, or the phase alignment is not off as much, but it definitely is off. I didn't tell by looking at it. Yeah. And it's not the limiter. I think I'll check I'll save it. The next one I'm doing as an MP3 and check that first. I'll adjust it first in Isotope, like this one. It's tough to see, but it looks a little bit off. But I'll see if this one.
This time, as it offers uninterrupted.
Oh. Morning yawn. Still sleepy. I mean, Jesus, what time was I up? Like 10 o'clock. Late day today.
On Earth. Number 10.
Oh, wait. Let's go back. We'll make sure this is happy. I got one more process. I don't think I did too deep. Yeah, so this is the light pass.
Bagan, Myanmar. Bagan in Myanmar is a city. The city is one of the most popular sights to behold. It's home to over 2,000 ancient temples. These are spread out over a vast plain, creating. As the sun sets, the sky turns a beautiful orange. To really get the best view, the contrast between the golden light and the ancient. To really get the best views, you can.
Yeah, there's
from up there, visitors can.
Let's do this. Let me pop in another. See if my ears get used to it.
And watch as the sun slows.
Let me listen to this.
To really get the best views, you can climb to the top of one of the temples or pagodas, as many of them have stairs that lead to the higher levels and provide a panoramic view of the surrounding area. To really get the best views, you can climb to the top of one of the temples or pagodas, as many of them have stairs that lead to the higher levels and provide a panoramic view of the surrounding area.
Yeah.
To really get the best
classic
views,
500.
you can climb to the top of one of the temples or pagodas, as many of them have stairs that lead to the higher levels and provide a panoramic view of the surrounding area. To really get the best views, you can climb to the top of one of the temples or pagodas, as many of them have stairs that lead to the higher levels and provide a panoramic view of the surrounding area. To really get the best views, you can climb to the top of one of the temples or pagodas, as many of them have stairs that lead to the higher levels and provide a panoramic view of the surrounding area. To really get the best views, you can climb to the top of one of the temples or pagodas.
Yeah, it's in there. Let's leave that on there for now.
Visitors can watch as alternative.
Sometimes when I record
to a truly magical experience.
Oh, there's a lot of extra resonance in my voice.
Isle of Skye.
Just getting up or early in the morning. The room will pick it up.
The Isle of Skye. It's a picturesque isle. The Isle of Skye.
It will just resonate.
And it's famous for its rugged landscapes, quaint villages, and abundant wildlife, making it a must-see destination for attic peaks of the cool.
Unfortunately,
it offers an endless.
It does that.
It's a special place.
Hey, Micah. No, you're not late, man. I've been doing it for a bit.
Turn in the evenings when you.
You're not late at all. A meme moment, like when Marty McFly says he's seen it. Wait, what meme moment? What was I talking about that in a previous stream? Or was that one of the gaming streams?
Purple.
I can't remember.
As the sun dips down below the horizon, there are plenty of spaces.
A deja vu moment.
While the old man impressive viewing point. Sedona, Arizona is a beautiful.
Yeah, that's what it was. I know. Yeah.
Stunning sunsets.
I don't think I did that. Did I do that one? No, I don't. I don't normally do the simple history episodes like on a live stream. I try to keep that. I'll say private, but I try to keep it on the down low.
What sets a vibrant, fiery display of color?
Because it kind of defeats the purpose
below the horizon, the red rock, it
kind of defeats the purpose of having kind of a release schedule.
The best place, and it's from these locations that you'll be able.
And besides,
it's from these locations.
Normally when I'm doing these, you can't make heads or tails of whatever the hell the thing is anyway, because I'm going so fast.
Quality. The sunsets
I say chill, but this is my chill
magical,
speed,
and they attract
which
visitors.
Looks kind of crazy fast, but
After paintings, there's just something about the sunsets that's simply nothing you'll find anywhere else in the
it's like
world.
playing a game for me.
The Masai Mara. The Masai Mara. It's named after. It's
Funny too. I didn't know when
it's named after generations. And
I didn't know when that Khmer Rouge one was going to go live. I didn't expect it to go live that quickly.
And they're still there. Know just how. And there's still the people who know just how truly special. While the Masai Mara is mainly known for its wildlife, the sky transforms into a canvas of oranges, pinks, and purples. As the sun begins to set, the vast one of the best places to see this, such as the Ululu.
Ululululu. Well, that was a weird word.
Such as the Ulololo escarpment.
Ulololo. O-O-L-O-L-O. I think. Ulolo. Ulolo. That was a weird one.
And climb the distant hills and catch shadows that expose parts.
Oops, let me go up. Let me go back up to this one. All right, so I did my second pass. I am going to... What am I going to do? I'm going to save this one as an MP3. 57 megabyte MP3. That's a freaking huge file. 25.25 minutes. Jesus. That is huge. All right, so we're going to close that. We're going to go into here. There it is right there. And let me see phase. I'm going to guess 32. 22. Roughly 22? All right, yeah. So it's better than 50 for some reason. Yeah, there we go. So that we can just save from in here. We'll save right. Boom. Yeah, that was interesting. That one was interesting.
Many safari lodges and camps off and watch as the sky turns and watches this. You might see a lion. This region is a place of whether you're a wildlife enthusiast. Number 6, Venice, Italy.
Venice, Italy
is the most romantic.
Is it?
Whether you're in where
I like to think Central Falls, Rhode Island is the most romantic city in the world.
The city's most famous and iconic gathering place. No trip to Venice would be complete without taking to the...
Maybe Chicago, Illinois.
And if you can do this by either travel... Oh, and you can do this by either... and you can do this.
And you can do this. And you can do this. And you can do this. And you can do this.
And you can do this.
And you can do this.
And you can do this. And you can do this. And
you can do this.
Drifting along.
Challenge myself to make a song out of my own sounds.
Whether you're a lover of art, and there are reminders.
That would be an interesting experiment. Try to create a bass track for it. Older 2042 stream you mentioned you used to currently live in Rhode Island. I do. I live in Rhode Island.
Number 5.
Central Falls is not exactly. It's got kind of a reputation in Rhode Island as
Port Waikato
kind of a weird town.
The town
Oh, that's a freaking transient.
The town itself
Transient
is
and a
situated
half.
in a tranquil setting. With its setting.
I mean, Rhode Island is like a. Rhode Island's like the entire state is like the size of a city in Texas. So yeah.
Port Whitecock. With its relatively low.
Oh, I screwed that one up.
With its relatively low.
Wow, 4 takes on that line.
With
Wow.
its relatively low latitude, the black sand beach, especially with the way that the sunsets are such a sea, the nearby setting sun, and with the ability to have. It's no wonder that people. Number 4.
Oh, I lost my voice there.
And it's no wonder that people travel from far and wide to see it for themselves. And it's no wonder that people travel from.
Wow, how come I didn't catch? Wow, I didn't catch that when I was doing it live. Okay, geez, whoops.
For themselves. Number 4.
People.
Number 4. Maui. Hawaii.
That was weird. That must. Oh, you know what? I think this particular one was like the second in a row. So that was me talking for an hour straight doing this stuff.
And when the sun's usually directly overhead, the island's diverse volcanic terrain and proximity to.
Wow, I took that whole thing out. What did I screw up
The
there?
island's diverse volcanic terrain and proximity. The evenings in Maui are truly evenings in Maui are truly breathtaking. From the white sand beaches to the there are plenty of places to see this from. Entirely different experience. Haleakala National Park, for example, while the famous, which is a scenic drive, to Hana, which is a scenic drive that winds its way, which is a scenic drive display. Probably
The rare
most
throat
romantic
clear.
way to Maui's natural beauty.
I've been getting better at that, actually.
Number 3.
I'm not sure. I think staying into a regular schedule, like a regular work schedule, is allowing me to have more consistent vocal performances. By not overdoing it, it allows, and actually proper warm-ups before I actually go in there.
In the world,
It allows me to have less
when the sunset begins,
throat
cast
clears.
shot, the hues on the sun.
Yeah, I've been waiting. Every time I have breakfast, I've been waiting
Mountains.
to make sure that
You can also experience the sunset with one of the most.
I get rid of most of whatever the hell's in my
With
throat.
one of the most special, which is a historic fort.
Oops.
With one of the, which is a historic fortress from this elevated location by a bustling city.
Oh, there's another one.
The beauty of Kairos as the sun sets over the city. It
Yeah,
casts
as I get towards the end of the
something
second
every
script of the
visitor
day, or when it was these I do in the morning, like one at like 7 or 8 in the morning,
Number 2.
and then take about maybe a 20-minute break,
Way.
then do another one.
Lofoten
By
is
the
a
end of the
breathtaking
second one,
world.
my
With an
voice
extremely
is
high
starting. I'm like
latitude that sees
always
parts of
clearing
it
my
within
throat.
the This dramatic the dramatic mountain
Hour-long
display.
speech. Gotta cut.
Display. Whether you're watching it from the town of Raina, which is located on the island of Moskenesoy, whether you're watching it from the town of
Raina.
with views out.
I didn't roll my R on that one.
Watching it with view. Moskenesoy.
Skin
With
this
views
way.
out across, or from the summit of
Ryan.
Rheinbrungen, where even though the hike to the top of the
Rheinbrungen.
mountain is challenging, the panoramic as the sun dips down below boards.
Oop, let me check my OBS open here. There we go.
Mountains and fjords. There's plenty more in the village of Awe.
Oh, that's right. There's a village just named A. It's A with a, what accent is that? With the circle over the top of the A. I forgot the name of that accent. I didn't realize there was a,
And the village of Awe.
and it's not it's Okay.
Play it regardless in one of the many. Regardless in one of the.
At least I didn't say irregardless.
Regardless in the list. Number 1, Angkor Wat,
Angkor
which
Wat.
is located in Siem Reap, Cambodia.
Siem Reap.
It was initially built as a Hindu,
Or I should say Siem Reap.
and it's now
For some reason,
more so
intonation is interesting.
than even the pyramids in Egypt.
In
with carving,
Cambodia.
statue, dancing display,
In Vietnamese.
the reflective pools
See,
and
I'm
boats surrounding the warm light into account. The warm
Oh,
account.
that's a rough one.
To this, the sun's rays of the temple, and the sun's rays also create a beautiful. The sunset in Angkor Wat is not just a visual spectacle, but peaceful.
Actually, I did make it pretty much to the end there without too many plosives, or I mean, too many throat clears.
And it's easy to see why. I'll see you guys next time.
Oh, I went for the emotional. I'll see you guys next time. All right, so let me take off 5. This has got to be really low. Yeah, I mean, this was early in the morning, -70. Yeah, that's good. Let's just take off a few. Compression always makes it louder anyway. All right, let's do, let's see how different I sound here.
As technology advances at an
Well, let me get the correct thing on here.
As technology advances at an unprecedented pace, the way we travel is changing dramatically. From flying
Not too much.
From flying taxis to hyperloop systems, autonomous.
That one's gonna be louder. Definitely gonna be louder. That one. That one I just did this morning. This one.
As technology advances at an unprecedented pace, the way we travel is changing.
Yeah, a lot of.
Change travel forever. Let's begin.
A lot of weirdness in that one. Less consistency, I
15.
guess. Let's go back to the end here. Let's grab 1229.
Taxis to hyperloop. Let's begin. Number 15. Hyperloop.
Finally got access to a gaming laptop. Oh, good. Welcome to the future.
Hyperloop. What?
The gaming, I have a gaming laptop. It's more for like mobile work and whatnot when I do this. But it's got it's got to be about 2 years old. Wait a minute, more than that, 2 or 3 years old by now. I bought it when the 2080s were just starting to hit the laptop market, and the RTX 2080s mobile, and it's pretty damn nice. It still runs.
What's this?
It still runs quite a bit. I mean, I don't play a ton of games on it, but
Sounds simple.
it still plays things pretty
Organic
nice.
levitation. Sounds simple, right? Well, no. The whole point of the idea. The whole point of the hype. So could this change travel? With its crazy concept.
No, I'm still screwed up with that EQ.
As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, it puts on.
Yeah, let me check. Let me do this. With these headphones, I know I've got different cans. Let's do this. Let me wait. Oh, that's the one I just applied.
Instead of using reduced air pressure inside the tubes to minimize air resistance and increase speed, the Hyperloop has generated a lot of excitement and interest around the world. Faster, more efficient, and more environmentally friendly than a lot of other modes of transportation.
Let's leave it there and do this. I'm going to change. Whoops. Let me see if I can get that in there. We're going to change to these, which are the Neumann headphones. These are the Neumann NDH20s. NDS 20s. NDH20. NDS something.
With its crazy concept of using reduced air pressure inside.
Yes, this is much more clear.
This crazy concept of using reduced air interest around the world. Faster. World.
All right, let me go back while we're waiting here. So this one, we did our click process, or no, we did our noise process. I'm going to, I don't want to know if I want to shave this one. You know what? Screw it. Let me match loudness first. We'll do it a little different today. We will match loudness. What have you played on your laptop, by the way? Have you played anything good?
Mesmerizing, and unlike anything you'll find anywhere else.
Yeah, way too loud. Way too loud. Let's bring this down.
Plenty of places to see this from.
Yeah, there we go. So while we're here, linear phase medium, we're going to go to very high. What? Oh, interesting. I didn't know you couldn't use dynamic EQ. Interesting.
A remarkable thing to witness and well worth staying around until...
All right, let's apply that. Go back to this one.
Faster, more efficient, and more environmentally friendly commuters and it goes without...
I'm going to try something.
Travelers. It goes without saying.
I'm going to try something different. I'm going to remove dynamic EQ when I do this one.
In other words, this could reduce travel times, but
I'm going to remove dynamic EQ.
Traveling from San Francisco.
This, which is 0. And we'll see if we can't go very high. Yeah, we can. But we're going to try...
Traveling from San Francisco to Los Angeles.
I'm going to bump it all the way up. And we're going to see what that does to the phase. And I'm going to apply the preset
Would be significant.
prior
Traveling from
to the normalization.
Would be currently take you a 6-hour car drive. Would be significantly.
Currently saying I can't say significantly.
Would be significant minutes. Unfortunately, there still are cost. Even Elon Musk doesn't quite have a bank account balance healthy enough to get this thing off the ground.
What was I talking about? Hyperloop?
Off the ground. Number 14.
Not really a fan of the Hyperloop. I think it's... Imagine having a sealed... hundreds of miles of sealed tubes under almost a near vacuum, I think is what he said he was trying to get it to. In a city with a crime rate where it's just amazingly high, and then all of a sudden you have some idiot that tries to punch a hole in it. And I just foresee catastrophe.
So, speaking of getting things off the ground,
just freaking make a train. Do their high-speed line. Why they haven't finished that stupid high-speed line? Well, I do. Politics.
For a runway.
All politics out there.
Runway.
Or idiot politics out there.
Well, that's kind of what... After all, the clue is pretty much in the name. It's like having a combination of a fixed-wing aircraft and a helicopter, providing due to their ability to lander with a great deal of efficiency and flexibility, due to their ability to land or take off. And why would you even want something like... There are a variety of VTOL aircraft, but these are often used for videography. Another example of two functions. In other words, they can tilting their rotors, currently used. Let me go back up, make sure. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah. So that's probably around the same thing. 18 to 22 offset. It definitely got better. Almost to the point where I could probably leave it. See you guys next time.
Actually, you know what? Let me reduce background even more. Yeah, let me add another 5. Let me add another 5 to that. Try to keep it down. Too much compression.
Currently used for transport and surveyance. Finally, we have eVTOL air efficient. So, if you've got a friend who claims to have seen a UFO, claims to have seen a UFO. Number 13, autonomous vehicles. Many of the vehicles in this top 15 would look perfectly at home in a sci-fi movie, and the next entry is no different. So what is an autonomous human to drive around? We have a couple of specific...
Verdun. Wait, is that the name of the game? Verdun? I don't think I've played that.
Using a combination without the need for...
And I'm assuming it's about the Battle of Verdun?
The difficulty in...
Or, no, what was her face? Emily Blunt from... From that Tom Cruise movie. The Angel of Verdun?
Some autonomous vehicles...
The Bitch of Verdun? What the hell was it?
But can even communicate...
Is that the Edge of Tomorrow? What?
But can even communicate with other autonomous vehicles to avoid one positive outlook the effect it would have on their independent the effect it would have on their independence, while autonomous...
Tannenberg for the Russian front. Oh, really? So, that'd be interesting. Tannenberg.
The loss of jobs...
That was a battle.
In addition to this, cybersecurity... When you combine this with the... It becomes kind of obvious that these kinds of vehicles... Number 12. Electric planes.
I think that sounds okay with that
We've
extra...
all seen people flying remote-control aircraft for a hobby, planes, and passengers. Well, you may not have to... Real thing. Also known as E-plane, carbon emissions.
E-planes, yeah, that's just what we need. More electric, yeah. We need less electric. I mean, I'll go on record right now and say it. I think we need less electric right now, not more. More hydrogen, more solar. Sure, but
wind turbines or
making the amount of batteries that we're trying to do is just stupid.
Panels.
What was I looking at? Some guy was talking about some big trucks take huge amounts of batteries in order to get the weight of them. And some company was looking to replace all their truck fleet with electric trucks. And it turns out it would have cost, or the amount of energy to charge these, it was like 30 trucks or something like this, was 5 megawatts, something like that, some crazy amount of megawatts to actually just charge his fleet. And it turns out that the actual fabrication plant that makes the trucks only is a 2 megawatt facility. I thought it was very interesting that the infrastructure is just not there.
But we're talking about vehicles.
If it was
using batteries, for instance,
I don't even know if it would still.
Also, battery.
I don't even know if it would still actually be a good thing.
In other words, a ticket for a new plane is expensive.
Over the course of a life of a vehicle, I mean, we're just reducing the life of a vehicle. I mean, what's the average life of a vehicle?
Number 11.
150,000 before it gets scrapped. 150, 200,000 maybe. I mean, EV is what you're going to go through 2 battery cycles or 2 battery replacements in that time.
If you grew up that you could send,
I don't know. EVs are weird to me at the moment.
Of 2 little remote cars that you could send. If you grew up in the 80s, you might have had one of those. If you grew up in
wait, why did I just redo that whole entire thing? Only works at the source it draws from. I mean, it's true that you're at. Yeah, I mean, I guess I take that for granted. I just know that most of electricity comes from fossil fuels still. I think it's still in the 90s. I don't think it's, or maybe high 80s of all the electricity that we generate now still comes from fossil fuels, and it will for a very long time. It's just the way it is until the U.S. release or eases up on some of its issues with nuclear power. Yeah, or until they perfect
designed
fusion power at the ITER thing, the ignition facility.
The days of
well, that's the National Ignition Project or whatever that is in. I'm not sure if that's Texas. I know they're going for it.
But of course,
but it's going to be decades before that's ready to happen.
Number 10, but who knows? Maybe PRT.
It's going to be decades.
Number 10, autonomous.
Hopefully, I'll be dead, so I don't have to worry about that.
A couple of decades ago. Otherwise known as you.
I just said hopefully I'll be dead.
Otherwise,
that's not a good thing.
These drones could be otherwise known as UA, or if we're talking.
Why was I have a problem saying?
Or if we're talking about the more advanced.
Or if we're talking
models can be. These days, there are YouTube videos of people using. Perhaps most importantly, drone. Think about the need to survey or consider the danger involved. The danger. Also, once again.
What one was this? Was it future travel? Some kind of travel things.
And if they become widely used for
electric
any more
jet.
downsides, well, you're suddenly hovering over your. 9. Maglev trains. Magnetic. All
right, let's pause that. Go back to here. All right, so we did our voice denoise.
Border between Switzerland and Italy. Its pyramid shape and sharp ridges makes it one of the most recognizable peaks in the world. The mountain has long been a symbol of Switzerland.
Now, let me do this.
Levitation. Well, it's perform on his assistant, but it's actually a system of using powerful and this lack of friction. Maglev trains were developed back in the 90s. Often used for things like airport transport or intercity commuting, the maglev train's magnetic attraction and repulsion both pull and push the train along, creating a speedy solution. But as futuristic, creating a speedy solution to long-distance travel.
I think that's a burp. You can tell by the waveform.
Travel. But as futuristic as these vehicles might seem, the
Should make that part of my logo. Just put a burp waveform
Needless
on.
to say, there are also less
on the
emissions
shirt
itself. Doesn't get more green than that.
It doesn't get more green than that.
Great.
And now back to the countdown.
So we've already talked, but here's all right. So we've talked about
Dear Casey.
using a
No, he gets really close to the mic.
variety
Dear
of
Casey.
sophisticated algorithms along with
He gets really close.
this combined with the but is probably not a great thought. All of this alongside the fact that self-driving buses can drive at a consistent speed means that passengers will spend significantly less time waiting at possibly require. Unfortunately, the specialized roadways, the charging stations, the infrastructure needed for this to become a common thing, it all takes some serious cash. So maybe it will be a while before self-driving buses become the norm.
Yeah, geez, yeah. Well, at least the scriptwriter did take that approach.
Particularly keeps us alive. Oh, and
There's a lot of common
solar
sense
power's been
things
around.
that just need to be addressed first. I know it's a slow process, but
petrol or
there's a lot that needs to be addressed. Infrastructure is just one aspect.
or vehicles. Take the World Solar Challenge, for example. People come from all over the cars.
All I know is I don't want an EV. Well, that's all I know. I don't want one.
Apple to travel the secondly solar powered vehicles kind of distance. Oh well, maybe we'll get there one day. Underwater trains. Now, the next entry on our list might not say has simply
Boy, I really did.
Now, the next entry on our list might.
Why did I take that? I think it was
talking
flow.
about
The flow.
life. I'm talking about the constructed in 1994, from one piece of land to the other. That said, the Channel Tunnel wasn't the first underwater the Seikon Tunnel in Japan.
Yeah,
The Seikon Tunnel's also
that's been around since the
which
80s.
can reach in bullet train and which can reach speeds of up to 300 ph.
That's a click.
Once again, these trains are fast, quiet, with no emissions, and of course, pricey process. How much? Number 5.
Number 5. Let's go back. Am I done with my... Yes, I am.
As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, it puts on a breathtaking
Oh, the compression.
show of color.
Man, the compression, man. I'm so upset about that.
As the sun begins to dip below the horizon, it puts on a breathtaking...
Oh, there's just too much pumping there. Nothing I can do about it now. Just gotta deal with it. Damn it. I hate dealing with stuff like that.
5. You've probably... If you've driven around any city center, electric scooter.
All right, so let's do the same thing. Let's check and see. Oh, no, that's the old one. I'm going to say 22 again, because we were a little bit better, I think. Let's see. 18, yeah, a little bit better. Okay, all right. Not too far off. Yep, there we go. It does recapture some of that dynamic range, which is nice. Well, I got that going for me, which is nice.
Eco-friendly, and they also go pretty, and you might be surprised. Miles an hour. And you might be surprised to hear that they often...
Why would I be
Other
surprised?
benefits are they are extremely easy. Sadly, though, for electric scooter fans, they have more and more riders are being encouraged. Number 4, supersonic travel.
Supersonic, the Concorde.
If you're old enough to remember the Live Aid concerts of 1985, you might also remember that Phil Collins was the only act to perform at both concerts, one of which took place in London's West. How did he manage?
Wait, did I actually? I thought I screwed that up.
Concerts, one of which took place in. How did he manage to pull this? Philadelphia's JFK Stadium. And how did he manage?
Yeah.
JFK Stadium. And how did he manage to pull this off? Did Phil invent teleportation? Supersonic travel. This phrase refers to any, possibly even higher. Concorde no longer exists and could reach the incredible speed of 1,350 miles per hour, or
Let's see what happens.
speed of 1,350 miles per
Takes out most of it.
hour.
Some of those little nasally throat clicks.
So what? Well, the fuel roll history. The fuel consumption, the expense, the environment. When you combine that with a very public act, it was time to.
You know, that's funny.
It was time to.
This
It was
one,
time to say a fond farewell.
the compression wasn't
Since-
there, but I don't
Since
think
then-
I changed
since
it.
then, companies like
I wonder if the
farewell. Since then,
I do
companies
let
like
the Avalon warm up for about 5 minutes or so. Maybe I need a little bit more time.
but there's only one. Number 3, Concorde.
Maybe I need a little more time.
Jetpacks. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving. Who of us can honestly
Jetpacks.
for jetpacks. Weirdly, however, they've actually been around for years. Using jets of liquid. Using jets of liquid.
Oh,
Using jets of
was
liquid
it
or
this one?
gas.
Yeah, this was the one I did this morning.
Question. And yeah, just like the jetpacks, you jetpack from below. Jetpacks also use, although it would be a little more. The first jetpacks ever developed weren't designed for everyday application at all. They were mainly shown off as stunt performances by the military. These days, however, there are quite a few on the market designed for. Number 2, flying cars. If there are any Back to the Future fans watching this video, well, I'm one of them, then this section is specifically for us. Yeah, this number 2 spot is probably the thing, otherwise known as personal air vehicle-like, and in a way, and the benefits are obvious, and the benefits are pretty obvious. You don't need once again, and of course, flying cars. The difference to flying cars you make. The difference to the flying cars you make. While some planes, which are some PAVs, simply existing car. Some PAVs simply look like. While some look a bit more like a part car. While some look a bit. While some look a bit car. While some look a bit more like a drone. But how do they work? Well, basically, it's a combo of already well-used. What is stopping us from living else on this list? The world would suddenly have to deal with a whole bunch of flying cars around, and that would take a major overhaul of infrastructure.
There it is again.
Using the roads, and how would the average driving test take place in a flying car? So many questions.
I gotta stop that.
Number 1, Well, we've saved the.
A lot of those dumb little one-liners
Orbital
at the end
travel.
of topics. I
Well,
gotta
I've
stop
saved the
that.
best for space.
It's like an editorial
Now we've
comment.
already talked about the.
It's like an editorial comment
Now
on
we've
what I've
already
just
talked about
read.
But is there a better way to achieve this than by, well, how with suborbital travel, the spacecraft takes you up a
Number 1.
orbital travel, of course, would mean. So, okay, this is slightly different. So, okay, this isn't strictly used for travel, which is pretty cool. If suborbital travel were to be developed into a form of as opposed, which needless to say would. A flight from Tokyo to New York, for example, would take no more than a few hours, as opposed to 14, which needless to say would be vastly preferable. So is
I think I tried to say needlessly.
world forever? Well, that answer is a big fact. Although these spacecraft safety and safety, and cost.
And there it is. Ooh, big spike over there. What's that? Transient.
Number 2, flying car.
Ah, the A.
Cars.
R. My pirate noises, they get loud sometimes.
The expense, the
Sibilants and pirate noises. Alright, so on to the last one. How long have I been streaming? Let's see. A few hours at least. 2 hours? Yeah, so about 30 minutes. 30 minutes each one. Well, casual pace, yeah, about 30 minutes each one. I did do 5. Actually, did I? I think I've done 5 today.
Mataimasho. I'll see you next time.
Mataimasho. Mataimasho. Oh, that's right. This is the cherry blossom ones. This one I liked. This one was fun. I'm also gonna go. I might have to save this as a new preset. This getting rid of. I think it was 447. Yeah.
Mataimasho. I'll see you next time.
It's actually still in there.
Mataimasho. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, 180 to 220
Mataimasho.
in there.
I'll see you next time.
Yeah, let's leave it down.
Mataimasho. I'll see you next time.
Now we'll take it down a couple dB. Let me just save that. So at least we have that set.
Mataimasho. I'll see you next time.
One, two, two, one.
As winter fades, the blooming of cherry blossom trees. With their delicate pink and white petals, these trees form landscapes into trees in the world. Number 15. Gyoen. Shinjuku Gyoen. Tokyo is one of the greatest cities in the world. The train's always on time, the people are kind, the food is delicious. But this sprawling metropolis is, and it seems like so of each other, and it seems like so many top of each other, and it seems like so.
Actually, let me edit on the S for that one.
And it seems like so many of them always have somewhere to be and need to get there fast. But in the heart of the Shinjuku neighborhood, Shinjuku Gyoen.
Gyoen.
This Shinjuku Gyoen is 157. The park was utterly destroyed during the Allied. The park itself is vast.
I had a breathing problem. Jesus.
And
What's up with that?
During the first,
I don't know why I'm taking so hard, long breaths there.
in the spring. Gardens home to more than 15. Come in late March for the weeping cherry, early in April for the Tokyo cherry, and again in late April for the Kanzan cherry. It should come as no surprise that cherry blossom season brings in serious bloom. Number 14.
This whole entire one, I'm going to try to leave as many.
Tokyo isn't the every April.
As many breaths as I can.
Every April, fairy tale.
Without them
Hordes of pink
too crazy.
funnels. It's truly a spectacular sight. That means the residents are treated to this.
I want to say transitional.
That'd be great.
Transitional
the boss
breaths.
is sure to understand why the springtime spectacle, old world charm. The thousands of cherry trees, lining, but you might wonder just how exact. The thousands of cherry trees, but you might want beauty. But you might wonder, they're bunches of pink flowers. They're bunches of petals. Locals and visitors alike. Even the parked cars get a light dusting of flowers. The cherry blossom are petals. The cherry blossoms in Bono. Ground.
Hey, Karen, what's up, buddy?
Number 13.
Catch me at a weird time. Streaming in the afternoon. I know it's weird. What time is it? 4:02.
Number 13. Holland Park's Kyoto.
It's kind of a weird time
Holland
for me to
Park
stream.
sits on the western. It's a fancy. It's a bit.
Normally on Monday is a big editing
It's
day
a
for
bit
me
of a
anyway.
fan among all of the great many lovely feet.
Oh, let me go back. This one, nope, 26 seconds. I can finish that in 26 seconds. I can finish.
It was donated by the chamber, including the first international,
Oh, maybe.
including the first international soup. Kyoto is well known for it. The stunning green and the pond is
No.
the pond is a small bridge crosses over the
Damn it.
a small bridge
Wow.
crosses over the water, lurking
What?
around the vegetation. The garden's Japanese.
All right, now I have to finish this one no
The
matter
garden's Japanese maple tree.
what. Now I have
And
to.
in springtime, the Kyoto garden is so.
Oh, God, that was longer than that. Okay, so let me go back to this one. All right, so we're clear there. We're going to... Actually, am I going to try... Do I want to normalize first? Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's just normalize to 20. So that'll give me in a few seconds here.
D.C. Washington, D.C. is home to. Washington, D.C. is.
I completely messed that one up.
Washington, D.C. The original plants are writer, diplomat,
dumbass.
She put in a request to the Office of Public Buildings and Grounds, which was with the arrival of cherry blossoms.
You never know which syllable to go on.
The arrival of cherry blossoms and the original trees are many more were planted on the White House grounds, but it's those cherry blossoms at the National Arboretum that are the real showstoppers. Visitors will find 9.
Throat clear.
Of course, if walking across 400 acres of space is easy enough. Plus, it lets you take things slower and soak in. There are more than 30 varieties, and they bloom over
Cheater.
Arboretum, and they bloom over a much longer period.
Cheater.
The trees
fade in.
Trees at the Arboretum.
Gotta use a fade in on that syllable.
The extended blooming season means
Sometimes my ands turn
tourists
into...
Yet.
Sometimes they turn into huge transients.
Number 11, Brooklyn
And.
Buttons. Hey yo, the city that.
Hey yo.
Hey yo, the city that never sleeps. Definitely doesn't sleep on cherry blossom season. New York received a few of the
All right, let's leave the breath.
New York received a few of the original trees.
Hey yo,
However,
what's
in more
going on
modern
over here?
After the First World War, even more. Today, those trees can, although many reports have them,
Oh, let me go back. Oh, yeah. Oh, see, now that... Oh, no, I didn't do anything yet.
Let's go to Los Angeles.
All right, let's apply that. We'll go
Make
back.
sure to research. Brooklyn is the much quieter.
Wait, what?
Brooklyn is the much quieter sister of Manhattan, and that shows in the Botanical Garden.
Brooklyn is quieter? I guess Brooklyn is quieter
The
than...
Brooklyn Botanic Garden.
Not literally, but I guess figuratively it is kind of quieter now.
Japanese Hill and Pond Garden.
Which
To
one's
the west of
quieter,
this
Brooklyn
area,
or
you'll
Queens?
also find the cherry cultivar. Not all cherry blossoms are the same. Is an open lawn area. Promenade is an open.
What's my favorite simple history episode to narrate? Like, you mean of the ones that I've already done? Like, my favorite ones that I've done? Or do you mean in general, the type that, the types that we get, like the cross sections or the dramatic ones?
You can also find cherry, but Brooklyn collection. Brooklyn also used to host this. However, there.
In general, I prefer the narrative type that revolve around an individual, like a person. Like the most recent one we did, Patty Main. That's enjoyable just because it's an interesting character. I really enjoy the aspect of getting to know what a person did in a battle or in a war or in general. Even so far as to say I did enjoy the Khmer Rouge one because it did focus a little bit on Pol Pot. It focused a little bit on his history. But like all the older ones, Rasputin and Stalin, all those old ones. Wait a minute, did we ever do... I just realized, I wonder if we ever did one on... Did I ever do one on Adolf Hitler? We've covered him so much, but in so many different episodes, obviously. I don't think we ever did one specifically about Adolf Hitler. I know we have... Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Shh, don't tell anybody. I know we have... I'm not narrating it, I think. I don't think I'm narrating it. You know what? Now I need to know if I'm narrating it. There's an episode coming up of... I think it's going to be on Simple History Live, I think. Regarding Hitler's artwork. Well, he was an artist, kind of like an amateur artist. And, he's actually painted quite a few things. And I think we were going to talk about them, I think, just to sort of describe them and sort of interpret some of their artworks based on other artists' interpretations of them. But I know that's kind of an unusual video. I think we're doing that on Simple History Live.
Neighborhood plan to... However, there are various events.
That should be an interesting one, but I like all the personal stuff.
Large event.
Where you got a person.
Brooklyn Botanic Garden.
Brings it down to earth. Brings it down to earth for me.
Is it just right? Number 10. Kawazu Sakura Festival. Every February, when the final weeks of gorgeous bright pink flowers give... Kawazu was home to some of the... From mid-February to mid-March, the river meanders be viewed today. Pedestrians can walk beneath the breathtaking noticing the
I gotta find out. Let's see. So, let's see if I can search through here, and I'll tell you. I don't think so. Wait. Hitler's Toys. Okay, so still out of production. That one was already done. I don't see it. I know it was a while ago that we talked about that. Let me see. Oh, there's too many. Yes, in the works. In the works. Not sure what specific channel it's going to be out on, but it's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting, that one. It'd be interesting to see if the algorithm blocks it.
Noticing the blossom way. The original Kawazu Sakura, people from across Japan. An annual festival celebrates the... Today there are over 8, as well as coming into miles. As well as coming into bloom early. The cherry blossom season for some however, the bright pink flower. For some varieties of trees, though, this can be... For some, however, the bright is a week.
Let me go back here. Oh, so that looks like it's going to be 18 again. I don't think I adjusted it, but let's save that. That's another long one, 22 minutes.
Other vehicles on this.
Welcome back, dude.
For next vacation via space.
All right, let's save that. Oh, damn it. That's right. I gotta wait. Let me go back here.
However, the bright pink flowers of the Kawazu usually fly.
Oh, that's a burp. I can tell that's a burp. I can tell that's a burp just by the way. All right, let's listen. Yeah, that's a good one.
A mid-March.
I can't remember what I must have had breakfast or something.
Fan. The festival is a
Governor Safety Act. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I recall hearing about that. I know Chicago gives you guys a bad name.
Full differences.
Or gives you guys a bad rap, but
differences. Number 9.
I've never heard of that one.
A national mint may seem like a... In mid-April, the river... That sakura goes into full bloom. It boasts more than 300...
Whoops, I lost my,
Every spring, in over 100 varieties.
Yeah, I definitely am missing that that tone for some reason. Not sure why.
Which come in over 100 varieties. Every spring, the mint names.
For basic training, everything works out. Yeah. Let's hope everything works out. So.
The cherry. And kept as it.
All I know is, I mean, I'm not following a ton of it, but it just looks upon just cursory.
The tradition of the tongue.
Just a cursory overview of what's happening
British
there
author
with companies pulling out and the amount of crime statistics that just seem to be going up and up.
And wrote about it in his book From Sea to Sea.
It seems to be worse than the 1920s, like Chicago gangland.
From sea to sea. Number 8.
That stigma of Chicago gangland. It's just Chicago doesn't seem to be.
Although
doesn't seem to be doing that all that well.
It was about bringing it all,
which kind of sucks.
Many people here have been able, believing that nature.
Maybe it'll fix itself, but who knows?
Believe it. And so when it comes to seeing some of the most beautiful cherry blossoms in the world, where better to view them than Tenorobu Fujimori. His treehouse in.
Well, that's right. This guy's treehouse
in Hokuto, Japan, is one. No time at all. From the outside, the Tetsu treehouse has a very much more than just a pretty face.
Oh wait, let me go in. Save. Make sure we're good there. Yes, happy. Close you. Gonna open you. And we're gonna see. I'm gonna guess 16 to 18. Yeah, let's see. Oh, wow. I was going to say 12. My instinct wanted to say 12 here, but okay. 10. All right, so we're getting better. So I'm finding out the issue here was definitely the EQ. The EQ settings I was using was causing a phase shift. Or I don't know if that's a phase. Yeah, I guess that's technically a phase shift. Or a DC offset in that audio. I'm not sure if that's considered a phase shift. Is a mono file? Does it suffer from phase shift? Yeah, I guess technically that's phase shift, DC offset. That's weird. I'm not an audio or a formally trained audio engineer, but I don't know if that's technically the right thing to say.
Fujimori designed the one-legged. Sometimes the best gardener is nature, but you'll find sometimes the best gardener is nature.
Oh, did I lose my voice?
Sometimes the best gardener is nature, but
I did.
Where exactly is this cherry tree house?
Wait.
But where exactly is this cherry tree house hiding?
Wait, why did I do that?
Cherry blossoms in full bloom. Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Bloom. Where is this?
Yeah, that's why I did that.
Where exactly is this cherry? Where is this? Well, you'll find the solitary structure in. You'll find the solitary structure.
I don't know why.
Well, you'll find the solitary structure, which is open to the public. So make sure to pay this place a visit Number 7. Awesome season. Number 7. Near the East 33rd Street entrance. Near the East 33 Street entrance.
Oh, wow. I completely made it.
East 33rd
Street.
33 Street entrance.
I'm going to do a little creative editing, I think.
33rd Street entrance to the Union Memorial Hospital.
East 33? Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Ironically, this
Safety Act. Whoop. Oh, I lost my window. Hold on. Let me get you back. Where are you? There you go. Wow, it removed the cash bail system? Jesus Christ. Like, removed it meaning nobody can get out? Or just removed it so everybody can get out? Like, it's Illinois, so it must be the
former.
During
his 11-year sentence for federal... During his 11-year sentence.
Wow. That's sort of like what other cities and states, or I don't know if states... Wow, did it pass? Did that bill pass? Or is that just something that he wants to do? Okay, I was going to say, that seems like an absolute nightmare. It's like I'm not sure if it's San Francisco. I think it was San Francisco that they had an ordinance, or a city ordinance, that passed something that said they decriminalize certain thefts under, I think it was like $500 or $1,000 or something like that, though they might arrest you, but they don't prosecute or something. It decriminalizes a lot of theft of certain things. And, like, what the hell? I don't even want to think about it. That's just terrible. That's just terrible. The bail system. Bail system, yeah, I'm sure I don't know if you guys have seen those, what show was that? John Oliver had an interesting take on the bail system, about what kind of a business it is, like bail bondsmen and stuff. Just, yeah, it's definitely a broken system. Or I should say, it's a system that is designed to, it's a money-making system, basically.
During his 11-year sentence for...
I mean, my limited cursory understanding of it is, it seems like it's just designed to fleece money.
He was
people.
diagnosed.
It's kind of like that search and seizure, that, what do they call that? Civil forfeiture, I think. Where police can basically, if you're driving around with a large cash, you say you got 10 grand in cash because you're going to buy a car from somebody. There are certain states that apparently can take that cash. Even if you show them a bill, hey, look, I'm going to buy a car, they can take it under suspicion that nobody drives around with that kind of cash. They're thinking you're using it for drugs and shit. And that apparently extends to a lot of other things other than cash.
Upon his release, the paresis and dementia, 1939. Upon Capone's 39.
A lot of weird.
Upon his release, the Capone family tried. The Capone.
That's just a lot of weird laws,
the Capone
I guess.
family tried. Leading the Capone family tried. The Capone. The Capone family.
The Capone family. The Capone family. The Capone family. The Capone family.
Admitted to. Well, concerned about the negative, Memorial Hospital agreed to take. Immediately following his prison sentence, Union Memorial.
Seize your stuff. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on?
Union Memorial even permitted. While there, he was treated.
Yeah, it's funny.
While there,
like,
he was.
It was. What was, I can't remember. There was a video I was watching about it. It was. Yeah, they treat objects.
While there,
they're treating objects or property as if it was guilty or innocent, as if it was as a person.
While there, he was treated by Dr.
Since it can't defend itself, they basically seize it until whatever investigation is. I guess that goes for properties too, houses, cars.
Dr. Joseph. While there, he was treated by Dr. Joseph Moore, a renowned cephalologist.
Oh boy.
While there,
I think I just changed it to doctor.
While there, he was treated by Dr. Joseph E. Moore, and Capone spent 6 weeks in the thanks to thank Union 40. To thank Union.
Like, let's say you have someone literally growing weed on an acre of land and you own 100 acres. They can seize all of it and you have to prove yourself that the land was legally obtained. Yeah, that's true. That's kind of, you know what that reminds me of? That Monsanto stuff. There was a documentary I was watching about a farmer had lived next to, I think, somebody who was using Monsanto seed, and he didn't want to use Monsanto seed. And I guess the wind carried some seed over to his property, which is not unheard of. And basically a court ruled, he said, well, you have Monsanto seed, genetic Monsanto seed, and you have to use XYZ. And there's a lot of bullshit regulations like that, which obviously are designed because those big companies simply lobbied to get those laws put in place. It's not for the protection of anybody. It's definitely not for the protection of either side. It's for the protection of the company's, intellectual property. That's all it is. It's got nothing to do with right and wrong. It's just intellectual property, which reminds me of YouTube claims. Has nothing to do with intellectual property. Has all to do with money.
One of the trees was removed in 1950 to make room for the construction of a new wing. The remaining construction of a new wing. The remaining tree still stands, despite decorative.
Walking your dog in Coney Island? Well, that's a nice thing. It must be, what's the temperature out there in Coney Island? It's just about 62 degrees here, so, or wait a minute, 62 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's 18 degrees Celsius, I think.
These offspring are affectionately spring. Number 6. Valley. When spring rolls
It's in the
around,
40s.
Spain's
Oh, yeah.
heritage,
That must be pretty chilly.
every corner of the Sierra de Gredos mountain range blossom blanket. After the long winter, over one
Yeah, I had some pretty rough rain here last night. I was up until like 4 a.m. last night, and
the
it was,
blossoming of
you could hear it.
the blossoming of
The whole night it was just,
the blossom
just coming down.
the blossoming of the cherry tree. It's an amazing celebration. The valley forms a although raising cattle. Although most towns and it's active. The origins of the cherry blossom. Pigeons. The origins of the cherry
Pigeons.
considered to be
Hey, by the way, I'm not sure if you guys are listening. Are you guys listening on headphones and or earbuds? Anybody?
considered throughout the valley. It all begins as the Alps and forests. The sakura of spring.
Raycon, AirPods. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got, oh fuck, I forgot the name of it. It's a little Jabra Elite. Can you guys hear the rain and thunder plus the Skyrim music in the background? Can you guys hear that?
The purple heather and the purple heather and the yellow in each celebration period, local villages
Okay, good. I was hoping it would be at least audible, but to not. It's really low on my end. But for some reason, OBS seems to
Number 5.
seems to put it out there a little bit louder.
Markets.
I didn't want to make it too loud.
The Bay.
And besides, every time I do that or I
call
put
the
that kind of
garden
music on there, I always get a copyright strike. But who gives a
City.
shit? It doesn't. I'm not
Where do you
monetized anyway,
begin
so it
with
doesn't
this
matter.
place? The flower dome is 3 acres, and then you have the slightly smaller, and the structure itself is, it's absolutely gorgeous. There's also Super Tree Grove. There's also
Super Tree.
Super Tree Grove, which is home to 18 tree-like structures, the tallest of which is about 160 feet. And
So,
probably the most
okay, so that's good. I'm glad you told me that. So, no earphones, just on your phone. Can I ask what kind of phone you have?
Honestly, if
two
it weren't-
questions. What kind of phone is it? And roughly, where is the volume level? Like, do you have it all the way maxed? Since you're outside, maybe you do. Or is it less than maxed?
freely and uninhabited.
Well, the reason why I'm asking this to everybody is because I try to master most of like the simple history content. I try to master it for phone speakers / earbuds instead of like, because I monitor using, studio headphones and monitors that not every person has. So I have a set of speakers that sort of emulates what it would sound like coming out of a phone, and I try to make it sound good for that.
Probably.
So yeah, I'm curious.
But the cherry on top is the new and improved Sakura Japan.
I even have a shitty. I had a previous life. I had a job where I had a little Bluetooth speaker that I would carry around with me on one of my work carts, and I would use that. And sometimes I listen through that just to hear how does it sound on a shitty single Bluetooth speaker. And I don't want to say I mix to that or I try to master to that, but I try to make it sound a little bit better on those sorts of things. Because the majority of content that Simple History users or listeners listen on viewers, is primarily mobile devices now. So
it often goes over even strange.
I'm competing with the sound of the waves. Max volume. Okay. Galaxy A12. All right. That's good to know. Max volume. Yeah, that's this stream is not putting out a mastered audio. I just have it set to, there's a little bit of compression, a little bit of EQ, and not much, but I try to make sure that the levels are solid. At least with my microphone, the audio playback I have is like 10 dB quieter. Like
offering visitors something
this
different
stuff
each
is
year.
10 dB quieter.
Offering
The wonderful world of audio, ladies and gentlemen.
But when it comes to cherry blossom, the cherry blossoms bloom throughout the entire garden in this. It's all pretty spectacular. Founded in 1924, today is Japan's oldest. The conservatory isn't just a nice spot.
Interesting.
This garden also has a children's red sakura.
I don't mind competing with the
Gardens
waves.
also provide the entrance fee to the park.
Every now and then,
The entrance fee
that's when I take the laptop
for
out.
less than $5.
I do
Number
take it.
3.
Like actually today would be, what is it still? Yeah. So I don't think it's going to rain at all. It's a little cloudy, but it's like good clouds. It's like partly cloudy.
Number 3.
It would be a nice day to take the mobile setup into the park and just edit in the park. That would be fun.
It houses almost all related.
Yeah, so hopefully, as long as you can hear me through those things, yeah, that would be
All related to the lush.
You're in like the worst environment for somebody like an audio engineer. If you said to him, "Yeah, I'd love to listen to music," and they asked you, "Where do you usually listen to?" and you said, "Yeah, Coney Island, and I have a highway nearby," that would be the worst possible case scenario for them. So if you can hear it, then that means the audio levels are solid. So you're the guinea pig.
Cherry Walk Off. Beautiful display of cherry blossoms in all of London. All of London.
Oh,
In all of London. Starting just behind the Cherry Walk offers the most beautiful. But come here late in the
what?
the Cherry offers the most beautiful house. Cherry Walk
Oh wow, I screwed that up. Let's see.
house. Cherry Walk offers the most. The path runs towards.
Listen, just use code SIMPLEHISTORY to get 15% off some Raycons so you won't have to strain your ears.
Of the bright pink
Tired of having shitty sound?
blossoms. Seeing people stopping for photos every few feet is reason when so many pink. Number 2. Nami Snow. Number 2.
I'm almost done with this. I am almost done with this.
Honoring.
How many hours? Where's my streaming counter? Here, let's see. Almost 2.5 hours. So yeah, so about 30 minutes per episode, which on a casual editing pace is pretty good since it takes me about 30 minutes to record, 30 minutes to edit. That's usually a good.
In Higashiyama.
It's usually a good ratio.
In
If I'm going speed bro, like speed run, speed trials through editing, I can get that down to probably about 15 to 20 minutes if I just churn.
In the spring,
But it's really boring. It's really boring.
In the spring, the cherry trees overhang.
I should just start hiring somebody to do all this.
Those in the know. Those in the know would recommend the path allows Otoyo Shrine and Ekando.
Japanese. Number 2. Your dog is trying to accomplish number 2.
And Ekando Zenriji. And Ekando. Others also caution that the area.
And Did I get that one?
Shrine and Ekando Zenriji. Zenriji. Others also caution that the area can. The nice leisure. Fuji or the Silver Pavilion in a Zenji neighborhood. People have been making this trek for decades now. People have been making this trek for decades now.
Oh,
the walk.
I see another burp. Yep, that's a burp. I love the burp waveforms. I can tell it's a burp because I have the same. It's the same. All right, let's see.
Vocals.
Yeah.
The best part. Vocals. The best part though.
Got it. 5 takes on that. The best part though.
The best part, though, is the Philosopher's Walk is open to all, free of charge, 24 hours a day. It's not a bad deal for something so spectacular, especially during the Hanami season. And as that season comes to an end, number 1. Maruyama Park is the oldest park in Kyoto.
Number
Lots of
one.
tea houses. And tea houses.
You know, that's a good question. You know what? When you said that about 15% off Raycon, why the hell don't we have that as a sponsor? If most of our people are listening on the phone, which, I mean, come on, it's just going to keep getting worse and, or not worse and worse, but there's just going to be more and more people listening on phone. Why the hell don't we have a sponsor with an earbud company?
The famous Gionno Yozakura, where
Food for thought.
Yozakura, when the cherry blossoms start to bloom here. Yes, but you can head here. But you can head here after mid-April to enjoy the illumination of the illumination of the week.
There's trash everywhere. Trash everywhere, really. Yeah, you know what? Wait, New York? Did you say it was New York? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's gotten worse.
The illumination of the weeping cherry tree, known as illumination of the weeping cherry tree, known as Gionno Yozakura, or night cherry blossom.
Oh, I screwed that up.
The illumination of the weeping cherry tree was the cherry blossom tree here in Maruyama old. So here's to another century of sakura. Mata aimashou. I'll see you next time.
All right.
Mata aimashou.
So, what are we going to do with this one? We're going to trim this? Nah, screw it. We'll leave it alone for now. I'm going to... Oh, what the hell did I just do? Did I just break? What did I just break? No. All right, let's do noise. 5 dB. Yeah, we'll leave it at 5. Where was I? Somebody was talking. I was out in... This was a long time ago. God, what? The mid-90s? No. Earlier than that. Maybe the late 80s. Shit. I was in Vancouver, British Columbia, and it was like Disney World. Everything was perfectly clean. It was amazing. And then recently I started hearing about, you know, some city, Portland, and, you know, these sort of liberal cities sort of falling apart because of some bad political bullshit. And apparently Vancouver is suffering pretty interestingly. As far as not being a very clean city anymore. And I heard the same things about New York, was kind of suffering with not being as clean as it once was, you know, just maybe a decade or two ago. So, yeah, I feel bad for that.
I'll see you next time.
Oh, that's what I did.
I'll see you next time.
That's what I did.
See you next time.
Yeah, I feel bad for that. Yeah. That does suck. I mean, at this point, there's not much an individual can do. I mean, unless you really make it your passion and your call to try to, you know, deal with, I don't want to say pollution's the wrong word, but just trash in general. Just inefficiencies, it seems.
As winter fades away and spring arrives, nature treats us to one of its most spectacular displays of beauty.
Okay, that works for me. So, we're going to do that, and then we're going to do declicks after. I got to sit up in my chair. How about I sit up? How about I sit up and look like a professional instead of just slouching like an old guy, like an old fart? Vancouver to Seattle, it's a hot, dirty mess. Yeah, it's not looking too good for those sorts of places. I mean, I guess it's overly simplistic, I guess, to say what's the thing that they have in common, but it's obvious. It's obvious what's the one thing all these big cities have in common that seem to be just having so many problems in every aspect: crime and education and just standards of living. It's just it's obvious that there's some problems, that that system is a little bit busted, and it needs to recoup. It needs to come back. It's swung so far one way that it needs to come back, and at least hopefully not swing too far the other way. Just come back to the center and just realize that, yeah, we need police. We need budget for police. We need certain educational standards to not turn our kids into mindless, sex-addicted drones. I mean, yeah. Established titles. Yeah. That established titles thing was just, it was interesting. It kind of reminds me of what the big mobile game companies do, where they say, all right, here's our advertising budget and whatever millions of dollars they have. And then they look at analytics on YouTube about who is generating, views, what's the demographic, all that stuff. And they find, oh, that looks almost perfect. That looks almost perfect as far as phase. Let me run some declick. But I think established titles seem to do that. They just, here's our marketing budget. This is what we want. Let's get our shit in front of eyes just so we can make money. It almost felt like a scam, I guess. Which, I guess it turns out it was interesting. What about, before established titles, what was that, I don't know if it was a company or a website where you can name a star after someone. That's been around for a long time. The International Star Registry, I think is what it was. Right now, as you see it, New York City is like a Monet. It looks great and beautiful from afar. Look closer, it looks awful. Yeah, I guess that is a Monet. But I mean, Monet. I mean, I have a lot of art educational background, and Monet is its own separate thing. And Monet's artwork it's in the eye of the beholder. I mean, just like Jackson Pollock, it's in the eye of the beholder. I mean, art is in the eye of the beholder. So it is what it is to some people. But yeah, if you take a closer look with an analytical eye, something's a little messy there. But hey, who cares? Who cares? Imagine, like, that's a good topic for a what if episode. What if modern artists were brought forward? Monet and Manet and it just, anybody was brought, any famous painters, Caravaggio, they were brought forward into right now and sat down in front of a computer and told, look, this machine, you can tell it what you want to see and it will generate art for you. It's just complete art. And I wonder what they would think of that. Besides, like, ooh, magic box. Besides that stuff, I wonder what they would think. That's interesting. I mean, and it's in its infancy, too. So that's always got my brain perplexed right now. Wrong pronouns. Yeah, I don't care about anybody's pronouns. I'm going to call you whatever I want to call you. I don't care. I don't care about people's pronouns. And I think most normal people respect a person enough to call them by their name and not get just dumped on if they happen to call somebody something that they get offended by. Because he, she is not offensive. She, he, those things are not offensive to people. Anybody who takes offense to that is just playing the victim. So, yeah, it's kind of pointless. All right, so one more. All right, got one more process to run. That's going to take a minute. And we'll see. Pronouns. That's when I really feel old, when I go, back in my day, we didn't call, we slapped you in the ass and we put you in the KP line. I mean, it's just, there's a reason why there's a reason why it's funny. It's because it's true. I mean, the hell is wrong with you to take offense to something like that? Yeah. What was that great line? I'm not sure who said it. Your right to not be offended does not trump my right to say whatever I feel. I mean, it doesn't trump my free speech rights. So yeah, people just don't. It's the snowflake generation. They'll eventually figure it out. I just love the stereotypes. I love seeing how, it's funny, when I was growing up, I'm an 80s kid, a 1980s kid. And when I was growing up, yeah, we knew about the greatest generation, the baby boomers. We knew about them, but there wasn't a clear distinction and stereotypes about them. Like, oh, the hippie generation, or whatever that one was called. What's the generation after the boomers? Or was there one? Boomers? Was there a generation from boomers to Gen X? I can't remember. But, you know, we never segregated the generations the way we do today. Like, we just didn't care. There's generational differences. But the generational differences have become so skewed with the advent of new technology that you're seeing all, you see them all. You see all the little nuances of every little idiot in the generation. And then it all of a sudden starts to create a stereotype. Like we have a microscope on this, it's a microcosm, and there's a microscope in there looking at all the little idiots from each generation. And we have all these differences. And I love watching, what was it? It was TikToks. Well, has like generation, like Gen X versus Millennium versus Gen Z versus Gen X. Like how do they react to certain stuff? And I find that stuff hilarious because it's accurate. I can't remember if it's one where a guy just walks into a wall, or he's like walking around a corner, he bumps into a wall, and the Gen X is like, doesn't even fit. It's like, doesn't bother him, nothing affects him. And then, what is it, the millennial just sort of, fuck. He just sort of hits the wall, fuck. And then, what is it now, the Gen Z will be like, he'll like cry and get all pissy and whiny. It's just, like, I know that's hyperbole and a stereotype, but it really does kind of feel like that after seeing certain behaviors from the different generations. I find it hilarious because honestly, Gen X, we are immune. Gen X is immune to whatever the hell is going on. Like, in general, we're just immune to it. Be a good human. Be a good person. I mean, it's obvious when you're being a good person and a bad person. Just be a good person. Respect people. Just, exist with them. Coexist with people. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to do. And we learned that 40 years ago. I mean, come on. And now all of a sudden we're back in the fucking 20s now with just people trying to segregate every aspect of everybody's life. It's actually ridiculous. Man. You know my pronouns. And I respect people that say it, that have that. Like, my nephew had some issues there. He was, trying to go through with not his pronouns, but his identity. And when you're a young kid, we all go through that. So I went through it. A headbanger, a different kind of dress, and you try with fashion, you try with social things. Some people try with drugs, some people try with music, and it's obvious that kids do that. But I don't give you any other credence for your right to not want to be called they or she or he or whatever more than anybody else. So screw you. Just be a nice name. Just be a nice person. I mean, it's just silly. Yeah. Who cares when you were born? Are you a good person? Right? I mean, who cares? The common sense people are still out there. The common sense. Are you a good person? I mean, nobody likes to be shit on.
Join 1949.
But are you a good person? I mean, that's really all that matters. Do you treat other people well? Do you talk to them well? Do you respect what they have to say? And it's all about how you respond to what they have to say. I mean, I learned a long time ago how to take criticism properly. And I've been accused of giving criticism in a very aggressive way. But there is no way to give criticism. If you want criticism and you want to fix a problem, like if I said, hey, because I get people ask me about audio all the time. And can you review this or can you EQ it, to help me find the right sound? And I will say, are you open to criticism about, what I'm hearing, what you might be able to do better? And people think criticism is a bad thing. And then the ones that get mad, what do you mean? What do you mean is this? No. And they think there's some kind of an agenda here, but your only way to get better is to hear criticism. So, If you can hear criticism and you treat people normally, I'll be your friend. I don't give a damn what you do. I don't give a damn what you look like, what you call yourself. I don't care. It always happens. Well, that's new. But you want to know something interesting? You do it and then you grow out of it, right? The generation grows out of it. Like, I'm going to use my example because I can only use mine as an example. Gen X. Of course we rebelled. I mean, that's where thrash metal comes from. We want to get the hell out of there and just, we want to do our own thing. And that sort of subculture generated as a way to rebel. And I mean, every generation does it, but then you kind of grow out of it. It seems like the generations that are currently, they're trying to hang on to those things. They're trying to hang on to that rebellion as if it's a virtue, and it really isn't a virtue. Rebelling isn't a virtue. It feels good, I guess, when you do it, but it's not a virtue. Rebelling world. It's something you have to do, and you do it, and you if you need to rebel and you need to figure it out, and there's a problem and you recognize it, rebel against it and fix it. You don't just stay in the rebellion mode after that. That's what seems to be the problem. That's what seems, at least to me, that's what seems to be the problem these days. People just stay in the rebelling mode way longer than they really should. In my opinion, which is all I've got, I guess, these days. But whatever. You know, you a good person? If you ask everybody, are they going to be a good person? I guess everybody would say yes. Right? Everybody's going, oh, yeah, I'm a good person. Yeah, okay, well, prove it. Prove it. All right, let's see. 14. 14. All right, so that one's not too bad. All right, that was 5. I think that was 5. 5 or 6, I think we did today. Well, see, words like retard. I still say, so growing up with me, gay and retarded, since I'm in Rhode Island, gay and, hey man, you're being retarded. I still say that. Don't be a retard. I still say those and I don't care. I use them as how I learn them, and I don't care if you're offended by them. I'm not offended by a person's words. I don't get offended at words people use. I just don't. If you do, then that's your own thing. Knock yourself out. But I just don't get offended by people. And I use words based on how it makes people feel. How does it make you feel to hear somebody say, fuck? Fuck you. There is no better... wait. What's that one? Oh, yeah. So, you know what? This is another good... Here's a good example about language. This is why I love doing what I do. Because you can use language for a lot of different things and how you say a word. So let's say you're talking, you want to have different feelings and emotions. Here's some synonyms with each other. So poop. All right. Poop is a good word. Poop. Oh, I got to poop. And then there's shit. Oh, I got to take a shit, right? There's a difference. When I say I have to poop versus I got to take a shit, there's some urgency built in. But then there's also the next one, which would be I have to defecate. The word defecate just is so aggressive. It sounds so aggressive to me, to my ears, when I hear, oh my God, Jesus, he just defecated all over the place. There's like, for some reason, it's funny. It's just a fun word. Poop, shit, and defecate are 3 words that are all about the same thing. And they all mean something different if you just say them. Poop, shit, defecate. Even just with no intonation, they have such different meaning. And if you can see the meaning, awesome. It's the idiots that can't see the meaning. When I say you're being retarded, I'm not calling you retarded. You're being retarded. You're acting like a retarded person because they act a certain way. You're being stupid. You're being an idiot. You're being an imbecile. So, I love language like that. Defecate. I need to defecate. Oof. Jesus. That's a problem. All right. Well. All right. I think I'm going to call the stream, guys, because that's it. Pretty much pretty much am done. That's pretty much it. Let's see. Yeah, CTAs I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was five quick ones this morning that we did. Awesome. Actually, you know what? Let's open them all up just to make sure that we're all looking good. Yeah, I think we're looking good here. No craziness, no weirdness. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, I'll be streaming later on tonight probably. I got a few more scripts to record today, hopefully, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's not, yeah, criticism, that whole idea of criticism, you sound bad, yeah. That's a person who doesn't know how to give criticism. They don't understand it. One of my favorite stories is when I was going to school. I was in a figure drawing class at Rhode Island School of Design, and this was a charcoal media, and it was a model. It was a lot like nude models, and we were drawing, and it was a learning experience for me. This is my first time trying to draw with a medium that I really wasn't comfortable with, which was a charcoal stick. And there comes a time when the teacher goes around, there's a big circle, the teacher goes around the room and asks, hey, I'd love to, what are you doing? How you doing? Hey, what's this? And I said, well, no, give it a shot. Let me know what's right. Let me know what's wrong. What am I doing wrong? And he leaned into me quite a bit. And he said, yeah, your perspective here is all wrong. And, the background shouldn't be like this. Your leg, there's not enough depth on the leg. You should be using foreshortening on the limbs and all this other fun stuff. And it was pretty aggressive. And unfortunately, I thought it was aggressive. It wasn't, because I was an idiot. I was a kid. I mean, Jesus, how old was I? This was it was one of those early kind of summer classes to sort of get like pre-college credits before you actually go. And at the time, I was just devastated because here I am thinking, oh, I'm great. I'm doing everything perfectly. It's great. And it was just a great learning experience. And I realized in my naivete at the time, I wasn't appreciating what he was telling me. I was just concentrating on the feelings. I was more concerned with how it was making me feel. You get red, you get sweaty, you get angry. Like, what the hell? And that was the wrong mentality. As we went through that class, that changed. Like, I was looking forward to him coming over and telling me what I was doing wrong. And I'm glad I learned that lesson, that you have to learn, even though it stings when somebody tells you, yeah, that's not good. You have to learn to take it and just separate that from the way it makes you feel. Because if you respect the teacher or the person who's giving the criticism, it all starts with, you have to respect the person giving the criticism first. You have to understand, do they know what they're talking about? And if they do, you really should respect their opinion. So you need to divorce your feelings from the criticism and try to be as objective as possible. Most people never learn. In that class, people learn, but most human beings do not learn that lesson. They never learn that, and they're focused on the feelings too much of the time. When people talk to each other, you have to divorce yourself from the way it makes you feel, unless they're personally attacking you. And most human beings do not know how to do that. They never learn that lesson on how to separate conversation from emotional. This is why when you see people blow up online, it's awesome. You see them blow up and they can't hold their cool about an argument or something. It's awesome because they never learn that lesson. Their feelings override who they are, or their feelings override what they should be doing to sort of make their conversation go forward or make themselves better. But, yeah, that's weird. Please stop being gay. PTSD. Yeah, I don't care about that. I love that people get PTSD. I've had so many conversations with people where it's just, that's how I grew up. What are you, gay? What are you, a fag? I mean, it's just, yeah, it's an insult. I don't care how you make that feel. Stop being a fag. I mean, Bill Burr has a great routine about that. It's just how people talk. There's no denigration. It has nothing to do with sexuality. It's It's a way that guys actually talk to each other. It's just how we evolved to sort of, well, technically, I guess I guess we evolved that way to try to weed out or to make sure that you can hold your own. If we insult you and you lose your shit, we know we can't rely on you. If you can hold your own and sort of back it up a little bit
This passage.
and actually stand up for yourself, then I think that's a way that we filter out sort of weak guys, I guess, would be the thing. I guess that's how we all do it. I mean, well, I'll put it this way. That's how it should be done, in my opinion. Because life ain't all sunshine and snowflakes. I mean, you have to be able to you got to be tough. You have to be a tough person. You can't be weak. If you're weak, I don't want anything to do with you. Just be a person who has something to say. Be a person who has something to contribute to the rest of the world. And if you don't, okay, then you keep quiet. Keep quiet. Go over there. Hang out. Yeah, it's weird. Oh well. All right, I'm zoned out. I'm pontificating on stuff that has nothing to do with this, which I always end up doing. I always end up pontificating on stuff that I shouldn't be pontificating on. All right, so you guys, hey, thanks for hanging out with me. I think, what time is it? It's like 5 o'clock? Yeah, it's like 5 o'clock p.m. here. I may be streaming later on tonight because I want to sit down and try to veg out and play some Battlefield again. But if you guys are on, that's awesome. If not, I will see you guys later this evening or maybe tomorrow. All right, guys. See ya. Well, maybe okay, now